And welcome to the TheGeeksAttic. Guys, here I am on a Saturday, not a Thursday, because the kid got sick on Thursday. And I've got with me a special guest. I've got my,
Where am I supposed to look?
You're looking at the camera.
Right there?
You're a professional YouTuber.
I don't
Aren't
ever
you?
go live.
Okay, so I had some things over here on my special new software program that I have. I can't seem to find a single thing anymore. Well, this is great. Well, anyway, guys,
Is anybody on?
I don't know. Not yet. Like I said, here we got my special guest, Ashley, a.k.a. my amazing wife, who runs a website called My Green Nest. Would you like to tell us what that's about?
It's about cloth diapering and eco-friendly, natural living, new moms, new parenting advice, funny videos, stuff like that, helpful stuff.
And are you a nerd?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. What is your what are you into that's the most nerdy thing?
I love Final Fantasy, like the original ones. I love Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's my favorite game of all time.
What about Zelda is so interesting?
I love just like the storyline. I love the music. I really love the story of the music. I love riding around on the horse. I love exploring the castles. I love the Renaissance era feel to it, the vibe.
Yeah, she also plays piano, and she used to play the Zelda music for me, but we got rid of the piano, and now I don't get to hear Zelda music anymore. And it was always relaxing and very nice.
I can play it on the ocarina, though.
Yeah, she does have an ocarina. She has a couple of them and some little flutes. Hello, Jacob. Hello, Adam. Adam is the one from Oklahoma City.
Oh, the
Adam.
zoo guy.
Yeah. If you would like to join me here in a little bit, Adam, I'd like to have you on. Maybe talk about some books and stuff. But so, Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
The movies, the books, the comics, the what? What about Star Wars do you
I've
like?
only seen the movies.
Only seen the movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
and some of the shows.
When did you first see the movies?
When we went on our first date.
When our first date?
It was our first date.
It was not.
Basically, it was our second date. He invited me over, and or was that? No, we watched a movie first. Some movie with a lot of cussing in it.
The Departed.
And I almost fell asleep. Then he wanted me to come back over and watch Star Wars. So it was like the third time I ever came over.
Right.
And then I watched from the prequels, was it?
You watched
first, yeah. And then the older one.
Right. That's all that was out.
But we watched it basically how it would have been in order.
1 through 6.
Yeah.
That's how she first was introduced to it. And when did you cry?
When Anakin found out when I found out Anakin was Darth Vader. I never really put 2 and 2 together.
So that was fun to experience.
I was like freaking out.
So did you
watch the best one first, Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, Jacob asked if you watched Return of the Jedi. She watched that one last. And she saw all the new movies. Her least favorite of the new Disney movies, Rogue One, which is my favorite.
Boring.
My favorite of the new canon.
Boring.
And which one is your least favorite of the new stuff?
Of the new stuff?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Episodes 7, 8, or 9, Rogue One. Or,
it's been so long since I've watched them in order. I've seen pieces and stuff since we've been together, but...
Wait, which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite of the new stuff?
I don't know. I'd have to watch them all again. I wouldn't know how to separate them.
Okay.
I'd have to watch them again.
Well, my least favorite's The Last Jedi. My favorite is Rogue One.
I like it when Anakin finds out, or when he turns bad, like when it gets all dramatic.
In episode 3. So you like the prequels more than the original stuff?
Maybe.
What about the books? Have you Have you had any interest in reading the books?
None.
So what do you think about my obsession with the books?
It's whatever. I don't really care either way.
How many times have you told me to sell my books?
No, it's just like when you read them, why do you need to hoard them? I understand keeping some, but like with my channel, when I review stuff, when I talk about it, Once I've blogged about it a bunch of times or however many times I need to, then I get rid of it if I'm not using it anymore. So I don't like keeping a lot of junk. I have a more minimalist idea in life, and Matt has a hoarding idea.
So Jacob says, to be honest, Rogue One is the bootleg Dark Forces. Cassian and Jin are booting Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors, which is...
Hey, are we able to give spoilers on here, or do I have
stuff.
to avoid from that?
Go ahead.
It's just annoying that everybody died. I mean, I get it.
In Rogue One?
There was no romance in it, so I was bored. It was just fighting. I have to have the romance. I just have to have the romance aspect, and there wasn't really that there to kind of keep me through the boring parts. And then they all died, and it was like, oh,
it's the perfect ending.
Okay.
Sometimes the best endings
are nice
when everybody dies.
I'm glad you hugged each other and then died.
Right. Well, that's what happens. Have you ever... Okay, without giving out any details of things that I've told you in the past, nothing whatsoever, okay? So people could watch. What do you think about the drama that happened recently in the Star Wars expanded universe? Is it comical? Is it...
You're talking about the imploding?
Is it funny? Is it something that we should all be concerned about?
It's hilarious. It's entertaining.
With the expanded universe versus the canon.
I want more of it to happen so I can hear about it.
She's her in the drama. What's funny is it's like those little niche things. Is there's always the drama in certain groups, like the Star Wars fandom. Of course, they're always going at it. But even with the diaper community, the cloth diapering for baby community. Okay.
Yeah, I've been exiled from one of the companies that don't like me.
It's so goofy. It's hilarious.
Because I reviewed her product and I said I liked a different one better. They exiled me.
Right. So it's happened to quite a few people that I know.
Where is everybody at?
I don't know. I just advertised, and sometimes comments don't really.
Oh.
But yeah, any other comments that you have towards Star Wars, or guys, you have any questions about Zelda or anything for Zelda fan here? I've always said Zelda sucks.
Have you even played it?
But I've never even played it.
Okay, see, I watch the Star Wars movies. I've gone to the theaters to support him, even though it was 9:00 at night and I was super pregnant, usually, when we went and watched them. You have yet to do for me what I've done for you.
I've tried to start playing a game of the first Zelda game on a Game Boy.
Yeah, a dumb Game Boy one. You didn't play like the legit one.
Which is what?
Ocarina of Time or A Link to the Past.
And are those both on what?
Well, one's you could play on your game. We could probably play them all on Game Boy now. I don't know. But Ocarina of Time you can play on 64, Game Boy Cube, and Wii. I think you can play it on Wii. We have a Wii. I think so. Because you can play GameCube games on Wii, right?
I think so.
So then you can play it. Because I have that game. I have it in everything. I have that game like 100 times over. Just like you have like a million Ghostbusters movies. I have the Zelda Ocarina of Time.
There's only 2.
You've had more than that.
What? Ghostbusters movies?
I'm pretty sure.
Multiple copies of the movie?
Yeah, like that's the same.
Yeah.
I have multiple copies of 64 Ocarina of Time.
Adam, he says, I played Song of Storms on the piano for a groom's march for my friend's wedding. So that's awesome.
Way. Wait. Is this Zoo Adam guy? Or is that a different guy?
Oklahoma City Adam, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, Adam.
That's amazing. The one that goes, do-do-do, do-do-do. Is it that one? I think that's it. That's the one I play. I love playing that one.
Jacob says the only Zelda he's ever played was Wind Waker.
Wind Waker was fun. It was fun, but it's not the classic. It's fun though.
Is it like a Super Nintendo?
Wind Waker's the one with the song that you like do 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 do.
Oh yeah.
I play that one for him all the time. He loves that one.
That's when I
when I had the piano.
Lay down, put my feet up, and ask her to play Zelda music.
But he always wants a Wind Waker song.
Just repeat it. Then I want her to add things to it that I make up in my head, and she's like, "No, okay, whatever."
I don't remember that.
Yeah, all the time.
No.
Every time.
I think he's making up stuff like
I
usual.
don't make stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knows.
Awesome.
So he plays piano too. That is what a quinkadink.
Yeah. And she also has a little collection of Zelda stuff also in her closet.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Because
No,
I've got all my nerd stuff in my closet, and she has her nerd stuff in her closet. So, but yeah, that's anything else that you would like to say to the Star Wars people?
Turn to Zelda.
Turn to Zelda. What about the books? Keep it going or slow it down?
I have no idea.
No. New canon or expanded universe?
What's the difference?
Well, the new canon is Disney, and the old stuff is like George Lucas.
George Lucas any day. But Disney hasn't done terrible either. But I just know Disney's eventually going to flub it up.
A lot of people already think they have.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
With what?
Everything.
Like what?
I don't like the direction that it went at all. There was no plan. Kathleen Kennedy, the producer, didn't develop a full story. They just hired directors that were hot at the time and then fired one and then hired somebody else. A lot of directors got fired to keep the story going the right way, but yeah, they had no plan and it all fell apart.
I wouldn't have guessed. I mean, I thought the movies were entertaining.
Yeah, they are, except for The Last Jedi. Rogue One's the best.
Which was The Last Jedi?
The one where Luke's on the island and stays there.
What's wrong with that one?
Don't like it.
Why?
Poor character development in Luke. It's not who we thought he would be, not who he should have been 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. Turned into a hermit again. Well, not again, but just turned into a hermit.
He was just like grieving and stuff.
Yeah. Nobody liked that. And the big CGI scenes with Rose. Nobody liked that stuff either.
That was annoying.
Adam, Rogue One is the best. I agree.
No, Adam, no. Mm-mm.
You got it.
No. We can't be friends now.
Okay, well, she's going to go back and do more of her website editing over at mygreennest.com.
No one cares about my website.
If you have kids and you want a cloth diaper or learn more a little bit about green living stuff, go check out her website and her YouTube channel. She's got a lot more subscribers and views than I do. So she's good at it. I'm not. Luke is a scum. Luke is just scum in The Last Jedi, says Jacob.
Why is he scum?
Just is. He tries to kill his nephew, which is not like him.
I thought that he didn't try to kill him. I thought he was... I don't know. Maybe y'all are right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it at the time. I didn't see anything wrong with it at the time when I was watching it, but I'm not obsessed like y'all crazy people are.
I do have little after... As soon as we leave the theater, I film a little review with me and her, and we give our first initial thoughts on things. I was really disappointed after The Last Jedi. You could go back and see those. She liked it.
Yeah, I mean, until you tear it apart afterwards and make me realize it's stupid then. But like when I'm watching it, I don't think, except for the Rose scene. When it comes to romance, I'll always know when something's off. That was just off. And then they like acted like it never happened. Which made it even weirder.
Right.
Did that not make it even more awkward and weird? Like, oh, she never just said I love you. She just like acted like a friend again.
Yeah, she like tried to kill him. Well, not tried to kill him. Tried to save him by nearly killing him
because she loved him. But then they like never mention it again. That was just like
the only way you can win a war is by saving the ones you love.
Now, isn't he in love with Rey though?
We don't know. They never followed through on any of the storylines. That's the problem that people have, is that nothing was really a through line. There was no through line. Everything got chopped. The story was supposed to go one place, and the director took it a completely opposite direction, and then they went.
I got the impression he was in love with Rey. He followed her everywhere and was like always worried about her.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, oh gosh, I forgot his name.
See, what?
The bad guy.
Kylo Ren?
Yeah, he was in love with her too. Well, yeah, that was obvious. They kissed at the end.
Right, but they just...
I wanted them to make it.
Really,
like, I can't believe they killed him off.
Developed all those characters.
Why couldn't they let them make it and have babies together?
I don't know. They wanted the Skywalker saga to end. But yeah, I misread something. I didn't say Luke is scum. It's a scrub.
Luke is a scrub. I thought he said scum too.
Yeah, because Phoenix Night Flame also said pretty much all the characters in The Last Jedi are scrubs.
Scrub is the kind of guy get.
You read the Rise of Skywalker novel yet? Apparently, people got early copies, and there are some dumb things in it that are straight out of the EU. No, I have not. I know that Del Rey released some at a special convention this weekend, but they have not sent out reviewer copies yet. It's supposed to be in a couple more weeks.
I have a question. So these Last Jedi, is that what these movies are called that we've been watching these last few years?
It's just the new canon.
The new canon, whatever. Have they done really well in the box office, or is it just a few people, like, no offense, but like y'all, just a few groups that are like, oh, I hate it because I like the original? Or is it really like, are you guys making a dent to Disney? Like, no.
Well,
y'all.
the box office was The Force Awakens is like one of the biggest movies of all time after its release, and then each film that's come out afterwards has
Gotten worse and worse.
Has been made less and less at the box office, and yeah. But yeah, I think you're gonna make your exit.
I guess I'm getting kicked out.
Just getting kicked out. Well, thanks for joining The Geek's Attic.
I'm taking my chair.
Now go back to your green nest and do your thing. I'm gonna have Adam, if you would like to do this watch along with me here in a little bit, we can do that. But right now, I'm going to do something else too. Go into a little Project Luminous recap. So that's what we're going to do. Need to pull up some stuff over here on the website, that you guys can see. Project Luminous, what is it? We had the official announcement on Monday last week. That was what, February? I don't know. Last week of February, the Monday on the last week of February, Lucasfilm finally released some details on Project Luminous. Exactly what is Project Luminous? Well, it's a new storyline, a new era in Star Wars. It's the High Republic, which takes place 200 years before the events of the Skywalker saga. I've got the Star Wars website brought up right over here, as you can see. We've got the High Republic, 200 years before the events of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. The period on Star Wars timeline will not overlap any of the filmed features or series currently being planned for production. So that's pretty crazy. We've got Del Rey, we've got Disney Lucasfilm Press, we've got IDW Comics, we've got Marvel Comics, all involved, and a couple different authors. Kathleen Kennedy is quoted here saying, "We are so excited to be opening up such a rich, fertile era for our authors to explore." It's the President, Kathleen Kennedy. We'll get to see the Jedi in their prime. So that'll be pretty interesting. Now, we've got Disney released a video, Star Wars: The High Republic. It was a neat little thing that Lucasfilm did. But the first book, we've got Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. That's going to be a YA novel. So that'll be exciting. It might be the thing that I'm looking forward to the most. Then we've got a Test of Courage by Justina Ireland. And this is going to be, what's down here? Test of Courage to Justina Ireland is a middle grade novel. So that's going to be one of your young reader novels there. They don't have any interest in that sort of thing anymore. And we've got our IDW comic, which I believe is aimed more towards the younger crowd as well. This is the Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures. Go on down to Marvel #1, The High Republic. And that's going to be written by Cavan Scott. It's pretty cool artwork on the front there. These new villains of the High Republic era are going to be called the Nile. So I know it was asked, what is the thing that scares the Jedi the most? And so instead of just going with something that they should have gone with, like the Sith, they said, no, here's some new bad guys. The Nile. Kind of dumb in my personal opinion. But anyway, let's go back over here to see The High Republic, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. That one looks pretty interesting too. It all kicks off in August. That's when Light of the Jedi comes out. And I don't think it has the dates for the other books. I don't see them on the website, but that's fine. I mean, it's interesting. It's kind of a cool thing to jump into a completely different era, but 200 years. I mean, we had Yoda, who was 900 years old in The Return of the Jedi. Okay, he dies. He's like 900 years old. See how you look or whatever. So is Yoda going to be part of this series, or are they going to make up some weird, goofy excuse like, oh, he's not part of the Jedi yet? Maybe he's discovered in one of the novels. I thought they would have put him on the cover of one of these books or in the poster or something, but they didn't. So that's interesting. What do you guys have to say about that? What are your thoughts on the High Republic? I know I tried to do a live announcement video when they dropped all the news, but they delayed so much, and I didn't get to finish the video before all the stuff came out, which was highly annoying. But I said I was going to do the recap on Thursday. Things fell through. Didn't get to do such a thing. But here I am now doing this, talking about the High Republic, Project Luminous. And I'm just wondering what you guys think about it. I mean, I'm just kind of like on the fence. I mean, I'm interested in a couple of the authors. Charles Soule, I don't think he's written a novel yet. He hasn't. Especially, well, I know he hasn't for Star Wars. He's done comic stuff, but and the Claudia Gray, I'm interested in that one. My least, I don't care about what Daniel Jose Older has to do. I don't care. I did not like his novel, Last Shot. Don't like the way he writes. But what do you guys have to say? Got Jacob says you read. Nope. We already talked about that. It's the novel. The comic books look awful, according to Jacob. Okay, especially the IDW ones. Jacob also says it's also telling that none of the EU writers are writing for the project. I think they are going to be phasing out those EU writers now. Yeah, I don't. Have there been any of the EU writers writing for the new canon in recent years, except for Timothy Zahn? No, he's always writing just the Thrawn books, but I don't know. I haven't seen anybody else come in a while. Since Rogue One, we had James Luceno. But yeah, I'm going to send somebody a message real quick. I'm going to have another guest come on here shortly. Sorry. So I think that will cover the High Republic recap. Just some books, comics. I guess one of the other things too that people are making throwing a fit about the authors. They had a little board posted up in the video that had like their wish list, things that they wanted to have happen. Dinosaurs was on that list, which was, I think, a joke. People ran with that one, thinking that it was some crazy, I can't believe they're going to try to bring in dinosaurs to Star Wars. Guys, I think someone was like, let's be funny. It was probably, what's his name? His idea. The guy that everybody dislikes and he's trolled all the time on Twitter, Pablo Hidalgo. It's probably his idea. He's like, you guys watch what happens. He writes dinosaurs up there, but a lot of people are up in a tizzy with all of that stuff. And the thing that I dislike is the whole forced diversity thing. Everything's all there. It's been diverse since the beginning, in my opinion. Someone said, is there going to be the alphabet soup, whatever you want to call it, representation? And one of the authors was like, most definitely in my book. Like, okay, right. Daniel Jose Older, I believe, was the one that said that. So that's just weird. We don't need that, especially with Jedi. They're not supposed to be sexually active. They're Jedi. Well, whatever. We'll see what happens. Phoenix Nightflame. He's talking to Jacob. He says, that is one of the things that worries me. They have Zahn writing a new Thrawn trilogy or series. I think it's more than just a trilogy. So why couldn't they have brought back Denning, Stackpole, or Karen Travis, etc.? Yeah, I think they're trying to separate themselves from all of that expanded universe stuff. Now, I've got one more thing that I wanted to do before I got into a Star Wars Clone Wars watch along. If you guys want to go ahead and get your Disney Plus brought up, and so we could watch it all together at the same time, that'd be cool. We'll do season 7, episode 1. You can watch that, talk about it as it's playing. Adam will join me for that. But right now, I want to do a quick little book review of Star Wars, The Ultimate Star Wars, New Edition, with a foreword by Anthony Daniels. I'm going to show you. I got it right here in front of me. Got my microphone, which I'll move that out of the way so it's a little bit cleaner down here. So you guys can see this. I'll turn the light on. Hopefully there's not going to be a big glare. So I'll go ahead and throw this. Whoa. I'm on the wrong thing here. Sorry. Get this new software I'm trying out, and that's not working either. Great. So what's going on here with my my computer's jacking up? Oh, there we go. I think I figured it out. There we go. Nope. Yeah, book review, The Ultimate Star Wars New Edition. Something different. These live streams, I'm going to try to do it, mix things up, make it a little bit more interesting. I know it's a surprise stream on a Saturday. I didn't expect to really get up here and do this. But here we go. Let's take a closer look at the inside of Star Wars New Edition by forward by Anthony Daniels. It's part of the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker. Got some cool art there in the front. Now, we have the contents page, as always. And over here, there's an introduction page written by Ryder Wyndham. Now, what's cool about this is he talks about some things like different names of ships, places, people that are never mentioned in Star Wars in the film, and that they're all just, them because of either toys, books, or comics, which is really cool. And here we've got our forward by Anthony Daniels, and there he is getting inside his outfit, which is cool. A lot of people have to help him out with that one. But here we get a look at the galactic conflict, the new timeline, starting off with the crisis of the Republic and ending with the Battle of Crate. So, I think it's always silly that they release these before a film comes out because, it's going to stop early somewhere. I'm going to flip over to just a random page. You got Qui-Gon Jinn. Gives a lot of information about him, the crisis of the Republic, little things about him, what he does there, his role in the Clone Wars. You can flick over here. We got Anakin Skywalker, also in his Vader outfit there. Pretty cool. Here we are with more characters, creatures. Got Dexter. So I don't want to show too much of this stuff, but here we got a cool look at General Grievous. Quote from him: "I look forward to adding your lightsabers to my collection." Oh, you silly old Grievous. We flip over here to there's Chewbacca. A lot of characters and creatures covered here in this book. Leia Organa. Pretty cool. Let's get out of... we got a bunch of Rebel stuff going on in there too. Lots of characters and creatures, that's for sure. Where is the next section? Oh, see, one of my favorite characters, Admiral Raddus. He was awesome. I did ask Pablo Hidalgo on Twitter back when he didn't block everybody, whatever happened to Admiral Raddus? And he sent me a plate of seafood. So he's dead. Looks like we even have some other really cartoony things. I don't even know what that is. Resistance. That's from Star Wars Resistance. Let's jump over just to a lot of pages to locations. There we go. Talks a little bit about some of those locations. Here we get a look at Tatooine. In the Republic, on Coruscant, the Senate stuff. The Lars Moisture Farm. Cool. Flip over, get out of here's another cool thing. Vader's Castle on Mustafar. Cool as that. Wish we could have got to see that a little bit more in the films rather than just the one, Rogue One. We got technology. You got to look about, all the droids, sabers, Han's dice, cool blasters down there. Different troops, their outfits. Pretty neat. And then we get, where was that section? Still in technology. Vehicles. We got a vehicles section. Goes over all the stuff between episode 1 and 9. Clone Wars stuff. Imperial Troop Transport, which I believe we see that in Rebels. And that's basically it. Vehicles. You got the Finalizer. What was that from episode 8? And then the very back we have an index. We got also before we get to the index, we got a behind the scenes little section here, which is pretty cool. Little models of some of the stuff. But yeah, there we go. Index. A couple pages of the index. And there it covers the characters, creatures, locations, technology, vehicles. And that's it. It's published by DK Publishing, which did send this out for me to review. Thank you. So, yeah, we're done with that book review. Now, if you guys want to go ahead and pull up Disney Plus, and I'm going to go ahead and get Adam in here. to watch this with me, and then we can discuss it. So you guys go ahead, get your Disney Plus pulled up. I did watch this episode only once, and I thought it was okay. Nothing too special, but like I said, I only saw it once, so it could be better the second time. So I'm sending that. He just got it. Well, I just sent it. You should get it in a second. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my headphones. Something I should show you real quick. Got a little book haul here. Lando Calrissian in the Flame Wind of Ocean. Pick this up. This is my second copy. It is from L. Neil Smith. This makes my second copy, which completes my what do you want to call it? My duplication of the entire trilogy. So I've got 2 copies of that trilogy now, which is nice. And this one's in really good condition. Its spine is not broken, and I do have from Craig Shaw Gardner, Batman faces 2 adversaries, one villainous, the other mysterious, and Batman Returns. So that's the novelization there. And finally, one that's been on a list for quite a while. It says, now a major motion picture from Warner Brothers, Mars Attacks. I like that. That's such a funny movie. This is official movie tie-in, a novel by Jonathan Jims, based on his story and screenplay, based on Mars Attacks, a property of the Topps Company, something I had never known. And guys, joining me now, we have from Brian, Adam.
Hey guys.
Hey Adam, how's it going?
I'm going pretty good. Thanks for having me on again.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Now, did you want to do a watch along of the Clone Wars?
Sounds great.
All right. I've got to pull up Disney Plus because I told everybody else to do it and I did not do it.
Real quick, your wife mentioned this earlier. I thought she might appreciate this since she plays piano.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Final Fantasy. She actually likes that game a lot too.
I've never played any of the games, but a friend of mine got me that music because she wants me to learn how to play it. So
yeah, I think I've listened to a little bit of the music, but because I never really knew what it was, I was like, I think I'll just pass on this. But yeah, you were supposed to join me on Thursday, but that didn't go over too well. Son's doing good now, though. He's kids, man. They get sick. It's like they're down for a day or two, and then they're up just like they were, like nothing ever happened.
But what we men in our 30s, when we get sick, we're down for like 2 weeks. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm down for the count. Oh, we got Jacob. He's out. This is the part of the stream where he's got to go since it's he's not a big fan of the Clone Wars and don't want to use my friend's account to watch it. All right, well, later, Jacob. Thanks for joining. Phoenix also said that's one of the worries that he had. Okay, I already talked about that one. But anyway, I have the Clone Wars brought up right now.
Yeah, me too.
You want to hit play on 3, 2, 1, go?
Sounds good.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Disney Plus just popped up. I'm going to turn the volume down for that one so I can hear you talk.
And so we don't get a copyright claim.
Yeah, exactly. So have you been a big fan of the Clone Wars?
Yeah, it's like we've said in other live streams. I like the original from 2003 the best.
Oh yeah.
Only because it makes a little bit more sense towards Revenge of the Sith. But as this new show, I do like it. I mean, it's just the continuity. It's the only thing that bothers me.
Right. Yeah, I just watched it whenever it was on Netflix, and I wanted to watch it real quick before it disappeared off Netflix before they brought it onto Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's. I think my favorite was Ahsoka's, like when Ahsoka was framed.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite story arc.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't remember a lot of it because like I said, I did like a quick binge. Didn't really retain much of it. I think it was also sick during some of that time when I was watching it, so it was kind of like, I want to watch this on NyQuil and forget about things,
Yeah, you fall asleep and you wake up and you're like 3 seasons later, like, whoa, how long was I out?
Yeah. See, I like these names of these troops. I have a hard time remembering who they are. We have Cody
We have Rex.
and Rex, which I know Rex is the one that appears later on in Rebels, right?
Right.
As an old man.
Yeah.
Or old clone. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry, my TV's over here, so I might be facing.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Mhm.
See, I was confused on this part too in my first watch. Have you seen this episode?
I have
Okay.
last week, but my baby was kind of crying, being fussy, so I was kind of in and out of it.
No, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of confused on what this whole thing's about. Like, it was like, oh, he's alive, but okay, so is he the one that's like helping out the droids attack, or what? I'm confused.
Yeah, I saw the second one, and they do explain. I don't want to go into spoilers though, if you want to, because it is already up. But
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I do need to watch it.
but like I said, baby fussy in and out.
Right,
So.
right.
But I was able to follow along a little bit better than that one. So
Okay, that's good. I'll look. Clone getting all teary-eyed over a photo.
yeah, I know that's like the first time I've ever seen like a photo in Star Wars.
Yeah,
I was just like,
that's true. I don't think
mean,
it's
like,
ever happened before.
I know it's just like in Return of the Jedi, like, hey Leia, do you remember your mother? Like, oh yeah, here's a picture of her on her phone or something like.
Yeah. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, in the Leia comics, Leia saw the pane glass window of Amidala.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that was like in the Leia book or something, or was it a comic?
Yeah, the Leia comic. It's like a
okay.
5-issue miniseries.
I haven't read any of the comics yet, but I want to.
I mean, I've heard some of the newer ones are getting better.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where I just dropped off and I just haven't continued.
I heard the Kylo Ren one's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. The Rise of Kylo Ren, I believe it's called.
Yeah. Might check that one out.
Yeah. Before you do, remember, check out Star Raptor. He's the king of canon. He reviews all of those.
I'll have to go check out his review on it. So.
Yeah. So the Bad Batch. It's a very interesting concept.
Mm-hmm.
We never heard about them before, did we? Ever?
No, this is the first time. For me, anyways.
Yeah. Gotta join you in the pub.
Thanks, I'm the designated driver tonight.
So this is a pretty crazy scene. Kind of silly though, because it's like coming in full speed. It's like, okay, do you not know that there's people down there?
I think they know. I think they just don't care.
Right. Because they're the Bad Batch.
It would have been kind of fun. I know it's not Star Wars, but like I kind of see Top Gun, Danger Zone playing as they're landing or something like that.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. It's funny. One of the guys looks like, to me, he's like Rambo. I think it's this guy, right? The one with the
the one with the marks on his face. Yeah.
He's the bandana. You got,
and that guy right there, the bald guy, looks like he got like a Punisher type skull on his mask.
Yeah. It's funny too because you could also look at him like the Ninja Turtles. Like you got the leader, the one that's like get the headband on him, the Leonardo.
There's Donatello with the glasses. Yeah.
Donatello's the one with the smarts.
And the bald one could be
Raphael.
Raphael, yeah.
He's the one with the attitude.
Maybe the bald guy I'd say is a mix between Raphael and Mikey because he's sometimes kind of
he's
goofy.
got some humor. Because that other guy that's behind them is pretty pissed the entire time, isn't he?
Yeah, he could be Raphael, maybe. I don't know.
It'd be kind of funny if they did do that, though. Name them after the turtles.
That'd be kind of cool. I know that in one of the clones, you remember the Zillow Beast episode?
That's the giant thing that kind of destroys Coruscant, right?
Yeah, that's actually based. They have like some Godzilla Easter eggs in that. So
weird.
And of course, I would know that. I mean, if you haven't noticed my background. So.
Yeah. crosshair. Let's get the toothpick in his mouth.
There's always a guy with a toothpick in his mouth.
Yeah.
Or just some random guy just punching everybody, being all brosy.
There you go. Yeah. So what kind of suicide mission do you have us on this time? Like how many suicide missions have they been on?
Geez. I forgot. I lost count. Or have we even seen any of them? I can't remember.
I don't think we have. I don't think we have.
Or maybe they see the whole Clone Wars as the suicide mission.
Regs. That cyber center does look pretty interesting. It's like just a giant satellite.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I'm glad it's not a super weapon.
Yeah. To me, people are saying the graphics look better. To me, they look exactly the same.
I think
maybe it's just a little bit crisper, but
slight. Yeah. Anakin looks a little bit.
Yeah, well, he definitely looks different too.
I mean, I'm starting to see the Revenge of the Sith Anakin, like the long hair and the scar.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does look the same. Maybe just a little bit more enhanced, I guess, is probably the way I would say it.
Yeah. So we got Rob over in the comments that he just read the Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir.
Is that a comic?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Is it canon or Legends?
It's actually both, I believe, because they re-released it.
Oh, okay.
In the paperback, in the trade.
Dude, the Dathomir levels in Fallen Order scare me.
Oh yeah, they are pretty. It is too terrifying.
Well, those zombie Night Sisters, like, I hate playing that level at night.
They drop out of those sacks. Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
I don't want to spoil the game for those that haven't played it, but there's like one scene where you're like running from your life, and I won't say really why, but you don't have any of your weapons, and I'm just like, oh, I was like, oh, run.
Your stress just spikes.
It's just like there's a button on the controller where you're supposed to hold it down to sprint, and then like there's times where it slips, and you're just like jogging while they're.
Yeah. Nice explosions.
I wish we had little X-ray scanners like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be just like, why are we not funding this? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Remind me later. I got to show you something cool. You showed your Batman Returns book, but
yeah.
I don't want to get off topic, but Operation Plan 82.
His tattoo is kind of strange to me because it's supposed to be a skull. Tattoo.
The Rambo guy or the guy with the
Rambo guy.
Oh yeah.
He's like half of it's like black, but it kind of looks skullish, but not at the same time. I don't know. Weirds me out.
You see, when I first heard this or watched this episode, I heard that they were like, they referred to them as like freaks or something like that. So I kind of thought that they were like, it was like a birthmark or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't. Then I looked at like, oh wait, that's a tattoo or a face paint.
Yeah. Because they had an episode. There was a character they had in. I can't remember what season it was. Like a defective trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Remember he was like an old man. I think he was defective. I can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, I need to rewatch him.
That was pretty cool. Rob D says the Son of Dathomir is considered canon despite being Dark Horse. Darth Maul death sentence is Legends, though. I never heard of Season 3 Camino arc. That's right. Okay. See? 99. Star Raptor. I told you. The king of canon. He knows.
Yeah. The king has returned.
Yes. The king has walked in. Star Raptor. He was 99 was defective, though. Yes. If you're still there. See, I like the Bad Batch's their suits, the red, white, gray.
Yeah, I like that too.
Interesting that they all have their own helmets as well. Like just
Yeah.
custom.
Yeah, I remember a scene from the first season where Yoda asks the troopers if he can take off their helmets, and they all have like different tattoos and different haircuts and everything. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
I kind of like that how even though they're all like one person, they show that they're their own person in a way.
Right. They all have their own little individual personalities.
Right. I kind of like that.
And yeah, Star Raptor confirms, yes, 99 was defective.
Oh, okay.
Seeing this guy, the spider guy, he was in the first season.
Yes.
I believe first season. He was in the early episodes, the Clone Wars.
It's been last year since I saw the first season.
I would definitely like to do a rewatch. Take my time with it and instead of speed through.
Have you seen Star Wars IRL in real life?
Mm-mm.
That channel. They do a binge watch of the Clone Wars in one weekend, and they buy like hundreds of dollars worth of energy drinks, and some of those energy drinks that they mix together, I feel like I would die after like 36 of drinking. But
yeah, that's crazy.
I'll send you the link. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'll send you the link to that. It's actually kind of amusing.
Okay. Star Raptor says the diversity in their suits is super cool. Hunter pretty much is wearing a stormtrooper helmet. Yeah, I know it. I thought that was pretty cool too. It's like, why does he get the cool one?
Hey, maybe we can ask Star Raptor. We were talking about the Zilla Beast earlier because we noticed that some of these, like one of the Bad Batch troopers looks like Rambo, and we kind of compared some of their personality traits to the Ninja Turtles. But the Zilla Beast, that was actually based on some classic Godzilla movies because I thought that there was like some characters that were named like Goji and Ra or something like that. But I mean, you would probably know better than I would. I just knew that they were based off the movies.
I remember that beast. I didn't like his design at all. It looked goofy to me.
Yeah, we never see him again either. I mean, they play it up for something that could actually be terrifying for the Jedi with like, because the Zilla Beast's armor was resistant to lightsabers, and they never explore it.
Missed opportunities.
Yep.
Infighting.
The Zilla Beast and the Rise of Skywalker would actually have been a good touch.
It would have been interesting. Yeah, if it was like on that planet that Exegol or whatever.
Yeah.
Or no, like that when they're flying through, and didn't they come up with some sort of meteor that had some beast coming out trying to bite it, like eat the ship, right?
Oh, I think so.
It would have been kind of cool if they instead the Falcon had to go on some planet and like maneuver around, and one of those beasts tried to grab it or something.
I thought Exegol was kind of an interesting concept. It's like the Sith world of Neverland. You're flying like second star to the right and straight on till. But no, I actually thought that was an interesting idea, Exegol. But now we're seeing. I kind of like also that this season or this episode it's kind of got like an Expendables vibe to it.
Yeah,
like different like hot shots getting together and like just like.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the classic. You got Cody, Rex, then you got these crazy super droids. Arnold. Guess he'd be the big dude who shows up late right here.
Star Raptor says a lot of the Clone Wars arcs are based off of classic movies like Seven Samurai and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was linked to Godzilla. Okay.
Yeah, Rob says I saw the Clone Wars in one weekend. A video came in as recommended. I didn't think it was mathematically possible to watch the entire series in one weekend.
Oh, it's not. In the link they don't make it. They make it they finished the 5th season, and then they have to like go to work like in like 4 hours later. So I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but sorry, Damon's like, oh wait, he hasn't. I haven't showed it to him yet. Sorry. But I couldn't do that anymore. Like binge watch a whole show and
No, neither could I. So that's why I'm pretty happy with Disney Plus doing this week by week.
I am too. That's. I
Just
mean,
take your time with it, you know.
yeah. I mean, you build like anticipation. You're like, I want to see what happens next, but I don't want to see it right now. So
Right, and it draws it out so people have something to talk about too. It's not here, then it's gone. Move on to something else. It's stay tuned. We're dragging this out for several weeks.
And I don't know, like I was saying, it's just like makes you feel like you're actually watching like classic TV. You know,
Yeah.
everything being digital nowadays, it just kind of adds a little bit of TV type nostalgia to it, I guess.
Yeah. Though it would be cool is after the fact, like once it's all released, like for The Mandalorian, I think it would be cool if they put them all together as like a movie. I think that'd be cool. Or at least like, put it together as one movie and release it in theaters. I think they'd make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah,
I'd go see it.
Yeah, I would too.
Boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
Did you ever see the original Clone Wars by that Tchaikovsky? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, and from Cartoon Network, yeah, that one's my favorite.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, Grievous was terrifying in that one.
Yeah, that's where we found him. His choke, right? His cough.
Yeah,
Windu.
Yeah, it was Mace Windu. Like he just choked it, and
yeah,
he actually had a more intimidating voice in that one than.
Should have kept that canon because I don't think they ever explored that in the new Clone Wars stuff.
Oh, how he gets that cough
Right.
or something? Yeah, they don't. There's a lot of things that they did in like the Clone Wars movie that came out. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Oh, and Jabba's son.
Yeah.
Never see him again.
Yeah. So annoying.
And I know, right? And I'm glad that he wasn't on the barge in Return of the Jedi, because that would have been a horrible bring your kid to work day or something like that. Yeah, I saw the Clone Wars movie once. As I was like, well, it's Star Wars. I should watch it.
Right. See, well, the first time I ever saw it was when I watched the Clone Wars series. I followed the StarWars.com recommended viewing of like in chronological order, which I'm glad I did. So I think that was like the third or fourth thing to watch, which I'm really happy I did that, because these things skip so much in the first couple seasons. I don't know why they did that.
I don't know either. Rob D says, one show I know of that you couldn't possibly binge watch is Bonanza. There's 430 episodes, and they're about 45 to 1 hour each.
Jeez.
God,
that's a lot.
I'm not even now that Bonanza's a Western show.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not a Bonanza fan, so I'd probably make it 45 seconds and be like, okay, I'm done. I was like, I heard the theme song, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a good show. I'm not much into Westerns, but
right. Yeah. Who is that? What was his name?
Which one?
Bullseye? No. Crosshair. Right? The sniper.
Oh, geez, I can't remember. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, me same here, man. I can't remember anything. What's your name again? I'm kidding. I think it's Crosshair. His helmet looks pretty neat. It's pretty slick.
For some reason, I thought he was the bald guy. I'm like, they named the bald guy Crosshair. There's the bald guy, or the guy with the shaved head. Yeah. I'm I still have a hard time remembering Rex and Cody's names, and they're good characters, but it's just
Yeah.
If I would have saw them, like you would have had to say like, oh yeah, they're from Clone Wars, like oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah. Which Cody? We see Cody in the Rise of, or not the Rise. I always do that now. I always mix up Revenge of the Sith and Rise of Skywalker. But he was in Revenge of the Sith. Kenobi has a little conversation with him.
Yeah, then he blasts them with a cannon. He's like, yeah, have a good day, man. Like, you too.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go kill him now.
Yeah.
I know that Rex, I did hear that it's canon that he was at the Battle of Endor.
Okay, so he's the old man then?
Yeah, the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
I think that's Rex.
Okay. He must have been really old.
Yeah, I know, right?
These guys aged so fast.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if like Luke has met him and then he's like, oh yeah, you knew my father? And he's just like, oh yeah, he was a beast,
Yeah.
And that's something I do hope that they explore is like Luke's time between a Jedi and Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here.
I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, go right ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I know they're exploring it a little bit with the Kylo Ren comic, but I'm just like,
yeah, you want to see it, or read about it in a novel. To me, it's go more in depth with it than just a.
Hey, Dave Filoni, we all like him.
Yay! All right, so that's the Clone Wars. It was a decent episode.
Yeah, I thought so too. I kind of liked it. I mean, like I said, I like that they actually focus on the troopers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that most of us are like, yay, Jedi, but I mean, I kind of like that they show that. That's what I liked about Rogue One is that they showed people that were not Jedi or didn't have the Force, and they have to fight this war with just their own two hands and wits and everything. So
yeah. The thing that I didn't like about the Clone Wars that much that I can remember is when they announced that the clones had chips in their head, and that's how they were activated to kill the Jedi. I thought it would have been cooler if they were just following orders. Like maybe a few of them, like I can't do that, and they had to they ran off but got killed. But they would have been cooler if they all were like these hardcore military folk that would not break orders, and it's like your relationships don't matter. You have to follow orders. So it's like execute Order 66. Maybe a little bit of hesitation by Cody there, and then finally just boom. But it would be so much cooler if they did not do the chip thing.
I 100% agree because I like that the idea that they were instructed to do it no matter what. It just shows that they didn't want to do it, but they had to because they're soldiers and they follow orders. But the chip thing just kind of it doesn't really take away. It takes away the conflict. It just says
yeah.
It
makes it turn more into that you're a robot. We could wipe your mind with it, and now you have to do the bad thing. I don't know. I never liked that when they said the chip. I guess it might be because it's more aimed for kids, so they're like, well, we should probably just put a chip in their head, and that's why they're bad, rather than just following the order to get what had to be done. So,
yeah, like I said, I think I never even knew that there was a chip until maybe a year or so ago.
Yeah.
I always thought that they were just well, they didn't want to do it, but they had to do it because they were following orders.
It's just the way it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I know? So you said that you had something else that you had you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, 1 second. I mean, it's just a real quick thing.
Take your time. Do what you got to do. I can go ahead and make a new little thing here that says...
Okay. You ever played Super Nintendo?
Yes. Nice. What is that?
Batman Returns.
Oh, heck yeah.
I loved this game growing up, but I died so much and it was. I went on a mission to find this game, and it was my mission to beat this game at some point in life, and I finally did.
Yeah. I'm just gonna throw that up there on the screen real quick.
Oh yeah, sure.
It's just I got this new software that I'm playing with, and it's pretty cool. Just like to mark things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. And what is that one?
Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. Okay. Yeah, I can see it a lot clearer now. That's so cool. It's funny that you shared that you got. Do you have any of the new books with you that you picked up recently?
Yeah.
Would you like to show those? Heck yeah. And which one? Okay, there's a couple of the bookstores around here. Did you go to the one on the south side?
I went to the one that you told me that's by the mall.
Okay, yeah. And it's funny. It's like I remember you said that you had gone and you found these books, and then I went in and I find this one, and they had 2 more copies of the Batman novelization.
Yeah, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And you said that you were looking for the Godzilla novelization.
Yes.
Yeah, they have it there. But you said you already ordered it, so I was like, I guess there's no point in telling them that.
Well, I went to the one that's close to me and to see if they had it because I didn't want to drive all the way up there again.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, the store up there on north of us has it. Like, we could pre-order it. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting it.
Okay.
I'm getting it from the same store. I'm just not driving up there. They're just going to call me when it's down here. So
good. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was kind of the store that I go to, the bookstore. They mix in their movie novelizations, and it's just hell. Because
yeah, I saw that when last time I was in there. I even went and asked about it at the customer service desk. I said, whatever happened to the movie novelization and TV tie-in books? Like, oh, we rearranged the store and they're just in the genre that they would be found in. And I'm like, thanks for making it very difficult.
They really don't want you to leave that store.
No.
Or they want you to leave right now.
Yeah. Yeah. See, Rob says something. He says, that'd be a funny clones joke. What did this clone look like? Like you and me, we all look the same. Yeah. Okay. This is just something random I wanted to talk about. This was one of the very first Funko Pops that I picked up ever.
Nice.
It's from Skyrim, which I guess is a video game. Shows you how much I know about it.
I saw my roommates play it. I've never played it, so
yeah. And I thought this thing looked so cool, I had to have it. And I thought, well, the reason I had to have it was because I thought it would look cool sitting on my desk and be kind of like an inspiration to writing and continuing the fantasy novel that I want to write. But it's just been up in my closet the whole time, left in the box. And I think I'm going to open it up and I'm going to leave it on my desk now so it can inspire me. And I'm going to throw the box in the trash because I've always been like that guy that's like, well, I can't take it out of the box. It's got to sit in the box. It's like, where's the fun in that?
No, I get you. I used to be that guy too. Like, there's only 2 things that I own that I will not take out of the box. I'm still debating if I get to.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't want to I don't want to sell my things, unless I absolutely have to. But
right.
But I like that we're getting a live stream unboxing.
Yeah, up the camera. See, it's so tricky. I can never remember which way these. See, look how cool that thing is.
No, I like it.
I mean, its name is Alduin. It's Alduin. I don't know anything about the game, but dragon, and dragons are cool.
There's a Godzilla Funko that I want. It kind of has like that. It has like glowing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And it has like glowing plates, and it's supposed to glow in the dark, but it's like $50 online. I'm like, ugh.
Oh wow, it's a Funko.
Yeah, here I got what? Here, let me.
Yeah. Invites. See if anybody's around.
This is what it looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
But but it has like glowing blue plates and glowing eyes and claws and everything, and it glows in the dark. So that this is actually, I think. Oh no, it's not. This is one of the first Funkos that I had. When we bought my house, we have a mantle above the fireplace that I've always wanted to put like a Godzilla themed item in there, and I had to talk my wife into it. Of course.
Right. Well, yeah. Speaking of your wife, I know you did your recent podcast with her.
Oh yeah, I did.
I listened to the podcast. I love it. It's great. It's nice to hear you guys talk about. I won't give away what you guys talked about, but your top authors that you guys really like the most. Yeah, I thought it was a good episode. It was a lot of fun to listen to.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you guys liked you. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. So those who don't know, can I mention your wife's what she does?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to talk about it? She's an author.
Yeah.
She's written books, which you've mentioned at one of the streams before, that she's written books.
Yeah, she's a self-published author. She has written like a series of novellas. She's also has a Christian devotional that she has written and published. And one of my favorite novel of hers is Locked, Lokte. It's about like this struggling actress who meets this stranger who she later finds out, works for the devil, and he helps the devil like collect, souls and everything by making people sell their souls and everything. And she's currently working on a vampire, it's like a vampire hunter type series called the Victoria Benson story, and it actually takes place in Chickasha, Oklahoma.
Oh, great, nice.
Yeah, so a little shout out to our neck of the woods here, and but yeah, she has a website, and it's just kjbryan.com. It's KJBRYEN. She has a Facebook page too, and so she's a very gifted writer. She actually made the newspapers one time for her books. Like she ranked 10th among best-selling local authors for her Locked book. So
that's awesome. I'll need to have her on as an interview sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure she would love that.
I'd like to see if I could get into interviewing some local authors. That'd be fun because I know a guy as well that wrote a book and has published. So he wrote a sci-fi book. Really cool.
Oh yeah, would I know him or?
Probably not. But the book is called "The Truth Is Out There." Your truth is out there. I think I talked about it last week.
Didn't you show it?
I did.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I did. It's good, like the guy who's depressed and meets an alien who's depressed, and they just kind of go through some crazy nonsense together. This is good. I know he was gonna write a lot more, like do a trilogy of the books, but I don't think he's actually been able to find the time to do a trilogy. But the book ends like you could go with a trilogy or not. It was a fun read for sure.
It's like one of those that leaves it open.
Right, it does, but doesn't have to have a full closure. Does that make any sense? Like you wouldn't expect there to be a sequel, but if the sequel came out, you'd be like, ah.
Oh yeah, I totally get you. Like most of the Disney movies these days.
Yeah, very true. But so speaking of like the whole Skyrim thing, do you ever play video games? Are you a big gamer?
I'm not a big gamer. Like if I play video games, they're like games that kind of like relate to me, like the Batman Arkham games or Star Wars games. Like if it's from a fandom or something like that I've never really played, I don't really play them. It's just one, I don't have time anymore, and two, it's just and one, it's just like I like playing games that kind of I relate to, I guess.
Right.
I did play a lot of Halo in college. Like me and my roommates, would just play Halo. And there's like this one guy that was unbeatable, and
of course, there's always that one guy.
And but I did play like a lot of the first person shooter James Bond type games growing up, and but
GoldenEye 007.
Oh yeah, Nintendo 64. Yeah,
the old classic split screen. Multiplayer. Yeah. Did you have the no odd job rule?
Oh, yeah. It was either no odd job or no cheat code where you're like speeding across the map.
Right. See, yeah, I remember me and my friends used to play that. Like, it was crazy. Like, all the neighborhood kids would come over and we'd all play just all night long, have like the sleepover, just staying up playing GoldenEye. And I was that guy that would go to all the spawn points and put up proximity mines.
I've done that before too.
Yeah. So like someone dies, as soon as they respawn, they die again, and it just goes in a cycle. It's like, well, they don't respawn at the same place; they go to the other place, and they die again. You're like, yeah, I was that jerk.
There was actually not. It wasn't the no odd job rule. It was the no golden gun rule.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I remember that one too.
And not just the no golden gun, but like the no Walther PPK golden gun, where you can shoot like 7 golden bullets. And
yeah. See, we went through a phase like that, and then I remember my friends were like, "Okay, let's do one hit kills only," which that made the game go by so fast, but it was a lot of fun.
We actually did one where it was. Oh, hold on one second. There we go. Sorry, my screen. My computer told me I had an update. But me and my roommates, we did a one-hit kill, no guns or knives. We just had the fists. And
melee,
yeah, and that was like the only and it was on super speed mode. So we just were like running, just like trying to hit each other.
That's fun. That's fun. I know there were a lot of codes that you could unlock in that game. I can't remember them all. I think wasn't there one that can like change everything as like paintball or rainbow or something? I know there's the big head mode, so everybody's running around with big heads and little bodies, and it was such a fun game. I think my favorite was, I think it was called The Facility, where you
yeah.
this one had the bathroom upstairs and the vents that you would go into. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I think I remember putting proximity mines in the bathroom stall, so when people would go in there, they would blow up.
Yeah.
Visually, that didn't look very good.
It's funny. Rob says he's big into video games. What sucks is by the time he beats one game, 3 more replace it. Yeah, it's my problem. It takes me a long time to finish a video game. But I was surprised I did beat Jedi Fallen Order pretty quickly. I got like almost everything done. The game's like 98% complete. Like missions are done, but I just have like a few things I need to go find, like those little boxes that you have to open. That's all I have to do, and I just don't know where they would be. And it's like you can't look them up and like, where are the boxes? Because it's like, well, I don't know which ones I didn't get.
I'm gonna be honest. I did actually look up. You can actually YouTube.
Yeah, the walkthrough stuff.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what I did. I'm just like, well, I've already beaten the game, and I just want to find it, and so. Yeah. I actually did something a little daring. I'm doing another playthrough of it, and after I left Bogano, where they have those mutant frog-like things that are annoying to kill.
Yeah.
The Ogdo-Bogdos, I think they're what they're called. I went to Dathomir, like with only just barely leveling up, and if you go to Dathomir and follow a certain path, you can get a double-bladed lightsaber early in the game. So that's what I did. I'm just like, I don't want to wait until like Kashyyyk to get in. Yeah. So I just did that, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. That's awesome. See, I really enjoyed the way that game lets you choose. Like and it takes a while. It can take a while to get to picking your own crystal color and then being able to change it. I thought that was really cool. It seems like for the longest time they were wanting to keep everything green and blue, but the video games were the only things that were like, oh, you could choose different colors. And now it seems like, with the new books that the High Republic, even the covers have multicolored lightsabers on there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we've seen yellow and we've seen blue and green, and I think we've seen a purple.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I kind of like that. It's like that quest where you have to earn it. It's not the Force Unleashed where you just have to jump around on certain obstacles to get holocrons and everything.
Yeah.
But speaking of the lightsaber colors in that game, I kind of felt like, now if I'm wrong, someone please correct me on this, but originally like you could pre-order the game and get an orange lightsaber crystal.
Yes.
And that was only exclusive to those that pre-ordered the game. But then like a month after the game was out, they were just like, we'll just give it to everybody. So they just created an update for everybody. And then now you can start off with either blue, green, or orange. I'm just like, Well, that's nice. Kind of a middle finger to those that, you know.
Yeah, get no more exclusives. Really, there's really not. It just goes to like what Rob says. It kind of sucks that YouTube, the internet, pretty much killed strategy guides. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
did.
it did. I guess you could argue that it saved paper, but yeah, strategy guides were fun to collect for people. Have maps and stuff laid out. But yeah, I had the game pre-ordered. I pre-ordered it on Amazon, and what sucks is like when it first hit, when I looked for it, I was like, we'll pre-order this game. It was on Walmart and Amazon are the two places that I browsed. And Walmart, it had it for like $59, which I think it sold for $69. I could be wrong. I could have this stuff. I could be adding 10 to these numbers, but and I looked over at Amazon and it was $49. I was like, that's a deal. I added it to my wish list and then forgot to go back in and make the purchase. It was like a week later, and I went back and it was $69. Like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, most of the games that I got, like I got Fallen Order and Crash Team Racing, the updated one, and it was like months, like a couple of months after they both released, that I was able to get them because I actually I don't really ask for gifts that much for Christmas. I just ask for gift cards,
Right.
like Target or GameStop or something like that. And that's kind of what I use to get them. So
Right.
But I was wanting to ask you something on Fallen Order. What are you? I did mention to you earlier, like I think it was like last week that they confirmed a Fallen Order sequel.
Right.
I was going to ask you, what would you like from that game?
Oh man, I mean, it'd be cool to follow the same character.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he was like against creating a new Jedi Order or like finding the kids. He's like, let their destiny be their own, or let the Force do whatever. But I think it would be cool if he changed his mind, did go and find kids, and everything that happened in his vision actually happened, like in the game. Like you do the turn, you become the bad guy, and you have to go do all those bad things that he does in his vision.
That would be, that'd be very good.
It'd be a dark turn. It'd be an interesting one because I don't think you've ever been able to play as a villain in Star Wars games, have we?
You start off as bad when you're Star Killer.
Yeah, I guess you're right there. Yeah,
but is there anybody else like bad? I know that there's games where you play as Jango Fett or Boba Fett.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool, like if you start off, the game starts off with like a little video, like they do, of him doing all the bad things, maybe like killing off all the younglings or turning them in, and then he's like slowly trying to turn back into the light.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then he dies at the end, of course. You have to have him die.
I would like to see him like go bad for a while, because maybe like Vader becomes like his mentor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he realizes that what he's done is bad, and then he actually at the end goes up against Vader, and Vader just wastes him like instantly. But I mean, that's kind of like what Force Unleashed is. I mean, so I can understand them not wanting to recreate that, but I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But the gameplay for me was super simple. It was fun. I did start the game on like the medium difficulty, and then I would change it to easy because I suck at video games. I really do. And like the other game that I have right now that I haven't finished yet either is Red Dead Redemption 2. And I got that when it came out, that's when I got it. And I'm still like 40% complete.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Very slow. And I was the guy that would just go drift off and like, instead of completing the campaign, I would just go off on my horse into the sunset, go just adventure, do random things, kill animals, be bad for a little bit, drag people into the river.
It's like that episode of Big Bang Theory where Leonard walks into the living room and Sheldon's playing Red Dead Redemption, but he's not like playing the actual story. He's like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm just out for a walk. And he's just like literally walking.
He's just walking around saying hi to folks. He's like, howdy.
He's like, I'm going into the saloon. You want anything to drink? And then Leonard's like, just like, no, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto later. So like,
it's funny, but this stuff's a lot of fun, and it'd be great if they did make which they kind of did. That Jedi Fallen Order does seem to me like an open world, like just go do what you want kind of thing. But it does also have that linear, you got to follow the story.
There was one thing that they did that I really liked, and that was they punished you for wanting to heal your character. Like when you go and meditate, if you heal yourself, your enemies respond.
Right. Yeah.
I honestly thought that was a great concept because like it's like that nothing in life is free type thing.
Right. Yeah. It's like, oh, go replenish your health. We're just gonna take it right back from you.
It's just like heal yourself. We
Yeah.
dare
We
you
dare
know?
you. Yeah. Yeah. So there was a place on, I can't remember what the planet was called. Was it Zepho? That Zepho was a planet too, right?
Right.
It's where the Zepho people were from. That was a cool level. I liked that. But there was a certain area that had like an old temple. It was
Mhm.
kind of falling apart, and there are those big rams out in the field.
I hate those rams.
Yeah, yeah. And there's this one part, like the save point was up high on a rock. You had to get up there, and then you'd save yourself, and then you'd come back to life, and they'd all be respawned. You're like, okay, great. How am I going to get out of here? How do I get up to that door without them seeing me? So,
There was a in Bogano, there was a giant like dragon-like thing. Like, did you see it?
yes.
I was so scared when I first saw it. I was like, oh, please tell me I'm not going to have to
Yeah.
fight that.
Yeah. By the end of the game, I was like, how do I get over there? How do I go kill it?
Yeah, people were trying. I've seen YouTube channels of people trying, and you just can't.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Nice, neat little background thing. I was the guy too that like I've always, when I played games, when you can get something new, like a new suit, I was like, nah, I gotta be consistent and I gotta just stay with the one outfit, one weapon or whatever. This one, every time I got a new poncho, I was like, yeah, I'm putting this one on.
Yeah. They
We got us a new guy here. We got Dylan.
hello. Hey, Dylan.
What's going on?
I literally got the email alert like 2 minutes ago.
Oh, hey, you're good. You're good. We're just talking, hanging out, talking Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which you don't have any interest in playing that game, do you?
No, I've seen a few reviews of it though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They a lot of neat things, adding new lore to Star Wars. But
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you're not interested in playing it, I still do recommend, like, maybe like if it's cheap, like in the clearance aisle or something like that, or if you want to rent it, just spend a weekend and you're like, I still think it's a pretty good game. I think everyone should, even every Star Wars fan should play it. But then again, I know there's people who are just like, I'm good.
Yeah, the music was fantastic, but they didn't release a soundtrack. I don't think they have plans for it either, which is sad.
I haven't heard anything. No.
Dylan, you like to play games, right? Like you have the desktop type game that you play, Armada, right?
A tabletop? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. No, you want to tell us a little bit about that? Because I don't really know anything about it. I know a lot of people probably don't know much. Of course,
I'll be right back. I need to get some stuff.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I was gonna say that I did actually buy KOTOR recently.
You did?
Yeah. On my Samsung tablet in the Galaxy store, they have it, the whole game, for like $5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to play that game, and at first it was a little slow for me, and I was just like, am I ever gonna figure this out? Because I never played those PC type games,
Right.
But once I got into it, I'm like, it was great. I loved the story, and it's very open world too. Have you ever played it?
I have not. I do have it on my Kindle Fire, but I haven't touched the Kindle Fire in about 6 months. And all I did was create a character, and then I turned it off because the gameplay seemed rather difficult on just that small tablet, and the format of the Kindle Fire was kind of crappy. But yeah, go ahead.
So Armada is a miniatures game. Let me focus my. There we go.
There you go.
Centered.
You're gonna make the camera just let's go old school like this.
Old school. There we go. So Armada is a miniatures game. It involves around ship miniatures. It's fair warning, it is pretty expensive going into it. The core set's about $100, and you get you basically get 3 ships and 10 squadrons, 6 for the Empire, 4 for the Rebels. but I like it as a game because it's pretty. It's a lot like if you've played X-Wing. It has a lot of the same features where you have a ship miniature and you move it and then you attack it. You roll dice to see how you attack and all. But with the Armada, it's a lot larger scale and there's a lot more planning and tactics with it because the larger ships, like the way that you issue commands to ships is you have these command dials. So on the smaller ships with like a smaller crew where like the captain can just be like fire the turbo lasers and there's like a deck officer like 2 feet from him that's got the turbo lasers, you only got one command dial. So you set a command dial for that turn, then you flip the command dial that turn and it actions. Well, in the bigger ships like the Star Destroyers and stuff, where it's like the commander gives that call and then like there's like a signals officer on the bridge that has to relay it all the way down to like the turbo laser banks 4 decks below in order to get that firing. So you have to have you have a command dial stack where you set your command dial, set your commands 2 to 3 depending on the ship, 2 to 3 turns away. So you're trying to think of like, okay, where's my ship going to be in like 2 to 3 turns?
Right.
Do I need to maneuver? Do I need to am I going to need to maneuver and stuff? So I really like that complex part of the game. But even if you're not into that, I would recommend getting the game kind of like, or getting some of the ships if you're into that thing, just because of how absolutely well detailed they are.
Yeah.
This isn't painted, by the way. This is how it comes out of the box.
That's awesome.
Now this is a board game?
This is a miniatures game. So you'd basically set this up on a table miniature, right?
Uh-huh.
On a table. You need a 6 by 3 foot table, and then you have these things. There's these little notches. You can kind of see them in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That there's a maneuver tool. So, shoot, I need to get the maneuver tool. I'll be back.
All right.
Well, I actually think I saw that game. There's a game store down the street from my house, right next to the gym I go to, and I walked in there a few times, and they got lots of Star Wars.
So there's a maneuver tool like this, and it has up to 4 speeds. So speed 0. I got it the wrong way. Speed 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you can crank these up to 2 notches in any way on each of these. So 1, 2 right there. But each of these ships in their stats have a max speed they can go, and then a max number of notches you can move per speed. So like if you want to do a maneuver like 1 here, 2 here, right? So you'd set the maneuver on the maneuver dial, and then you would, with it on the table, you would lock it in.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, you'd have to do it on this side. You'd lock it on the table, and then you'd have it move to that spot. Then you take away the maneuver tool. Another thing that they have is let me take the base plate off. On the ship's actual base plate, you see these little dials here. These are shield dials. So you have 4 zones: front, left, right, and rear. And they have values on them for how many shield points that can hold. So when you take damage, like I take 2 damage to the right side, so you'd move you'd move it because the Star Destroyer can have 3 shield there. So you move it down to 1. So now you have 1 more shield in that location. So it also becomes and there are certain cards.
Keep talking, Dylan. Sorry.
And there's like upgrades you can do, or there's cards you can use to upgrade these ships, which they do come with the ships and the core. And there's also commands you can do to either like repair shield damage or move, like you've got no shields here, but you got on the right, but you got shields in the rear. So you can divert power from, you could like deplete both of the rear shields in order to give you power, your shields on the right, and so forth. And yeah.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I was telling Matthew that I actually saw that there's a game store down the street from my house, and they were selling that, and they have loads of other Star Wars games. And I'm glad that you brought Matt Wilkins in, because I did see some of the games that you did reviews of on your channel down there. I'm just like, I was wanting to message you about that. So
That's awesome. Oh, look at this. It's good.
Yeah, it's kind of the ship scale.
That's pretty cool.
So I got a few things here I got to talk about.
Yeah.
First off, here was Matthew's text to me. Want to gem a stream V?
Oh yeah.
Do I want to gem? Do I want to gem a stream V?
A stream.
I'm sitting. I'm not at home, and I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there in the dinner theater tonight, and I get a text. I'm like, okay, want a gem stream V? I was like,
Oh gosh.
I don't know. I don't know what you're asking here. Do I want a desk stick? So there you go. Are you looking at your message now?
Yeah. It definitely says that.
That's fantastic. The second thing that I've been bragging about is that the Misses is now in a board game.
Oh,
An
nice.
official board game that's coming out soon. We got our Kickstarter copy in, but the Misses is in the newest Zombies game coming out called Zombies Vegas, and so are the twins. Here is their card.
Oh, nice.
Window shopping. That's when they were just born. So they're a little younger and they were sleeping, and the zombies were not there. It was just an empty window, and that's the Misses. And so that's going to be her card. There's actually two of them in the deck.
Nice.
It's Vegas because they look like cards. So one is a diamond, the other one is 6 of hearts. So 6 of diamonds, 6 of hearts is who she's going to be. That is the Misses. I already have my card. I was already featured in Zombies 13 a couple of years back.
You said you're sitting in a vehicle, or sitting on a bike, right?
Yes. Give me one moment. I'll find that one for
Okay.
you. I wanted one of these. My wife said I have one, and I can't find it. But I guess he gave me the art. Now the other thing I want to talk about. This just came in, and you know what? Now I think my collection is complete. This was never sold in the U.S. I had to get it from the U.K.
That's cool.
So we were talking about rare books. I haven't said the name yet because I know Adam's getting the jar ready. But I'm just saying those were the 3 things I haven't said the name. That's a heavy R2 unit. Let me tell you that.
this is how much we talk about Highlander right here.
You just jinxed it. There you go. You said Highlander. I did not. So there you go. He's got to put his own.
Oh no.
Go get some coins. Okay, so anyway, so you were talking about games that I missed. Actually, my first Armada game, I know I've mentioned this before on my channel. Stop me if I've mentioned on yours, was against Brian. And I didn't know how to play the game. And I totally had my stacking order of commands backwards. And I did the unthinkable. And Brian did not know what I was doing. And I got him on his broadside in his weak spot. And I demolished him. It was by complete and total accident. And he took it in good stride because I was prepared to get demolished because I don't know how to play the game. And as he's showing me, I stacked my orders backwards and had the weirdest order structure that Brian didn't see coming, and it ended up just demolishing him. And I felt bad. He had a good attitude about it. I'd have been like, "You are so lucky and so stupid," but he did a good job. At least he doesn't cheat like Amelia does in board games. There you go. I said it. Okay. Anyway,
I'm not big on board games. I don't know why. I'm just
that's
not.
because you haven't played with me.
Oh yeah. Well,
Actually, we've had a lot of fun. I know that Jeremy Dillon and I, when we went to Gen Con, we played a ton of games, but it was always I won, but only because Jeremy and Dillon had this rivalry, and I don't know who started it. I don't know what board game started, but Dillon hit at Jeremy or Jeremy hit at Dillon, and then from then on out, every game they started attacking each other, and I just tiptoed to the victory. That's how every game ended up because Dillon would have a card, he'd throw it on Jeremy just to see Jeremy's reaction. Jeremy would throw a card back on Dillon, and they had this rivalry going. I was like, okay, good for me. I didn't have a rival.
This kind of sounds like you're Elmer Fudd to them being Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck doing Wabbit season, Duck season. You just shoot one of them. So.
They take turns shooting each other. But I wouldn't have won any of those games though. But Dillon is a brilliant tactician. But I'll be honest though, I think Dillon. We played one game of Twilight Imperium, which is Dillon's. That's Dillon's foray, man. That's the 4X thing. The thinking on multi levels. But all Dylan could think of was to wipe Jeremy from the face of the earth, and he came close. I think Jeremy was on the outs on that one. Dylan almost did. It's hard to completely eliminate a player, but Dylan is pretty wicked and pretty solid in his skill set, and I think he would have had Jeremy in like 1 or 2 more rounds. I was like, "Ooh, I was impressed. I've never seen anyone get eliminated from that." I mean, it can happen, but it's very hard. But Dylan was like, Thrawn out there, cutting him down.
Well, I had the Borg. I had the Borg race.
That's right. Yeah, you had the Borg race. And the other thing that I did, I carefully, because you can place your planet anywhere on the edge. Jeremy and Dylan purposely put each other at war, and I put myself on the other side of the galaxy, and I skated away with a win. But I don't want to be near Dylan. Dylan's cruel.
Well, you were fine because we had that. We had like a 3-2 trade going.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had a trade going. I didn't want to mess with Dylan at all.
Yeah, we didn't want to mess with each other at all.
Yeah, we had the trade going up and everything. I know this talk makes Matthew so excited to play board games now. But to be honest, if you play it with the right crew, is what I'm saying, you will have fun because it's very board games are just very sociable,
right?
And I mean, I know that's hard to believe because Dylan plays them, but they are very sociable, and you can have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But Dylan looks at one of the things I like about how Dylan was talking. I was halfway joking when I was falling asleep on Dylan, but it also Dylan was. You were telling me this. The reason you like Armada, it's military strategy, man. You look at different strategies. It makes you strategize. It makes you pretend to be Thrawn in a way. You want to have the perfect strategy. You want to guess what your opponent's going to do, which is what Thrawn does. You want to anticipate, counter, and sometimes it's fake and double fake. So there's a lot of layers to a game like that, and I can really get to enjoy that. It's like a very advanced version of chess, is what Dylan's playing. But go ahead.
It goes further into that, kind of like with Twilight Imperium, because in Twilight Imperium, you're literally building the galaxy. It's part of the game to do that. And in Armada, the same thing. If you play with just the core set, you're going to know what your opponent has. But once you start getting different expansions, you literally build your fleet. There's a fleet building process. So before you even go into the game, you have a game plan of like, okay, I'm going to have these ships, and they're going to do this. This thing's going to do this and this and this. And then you have that game plan, right? Like you're like, okay, I'm going to go all in on having really good starfighters, and they're just going to blitzkrieg in and bomb all like the big heavy capital ships. And then you go to the table, and the opponent is playing a whole bunch of little ships that have a lot of anti-starfighter defense. And you're like, well, now you're kind of trapped in this thing of, okay, what I do good isn't going to work. So now you have to play around that your opponent now has the advantage, or sometimes you will have the advantage just from how you built the fleet. But even if you literally get built into, even if you're like, you build your fleet one way and your opponent builds a fleet that it completely counters it, the way that like the objectives and victory points go, you can still win a game.
So is it like cards that you have? Or do you have dice? Is it?
Yeah.
You have these little command tokens, aren't they, or something, Dylan?
Yeah. Let me show you.
Yeah. As Dylan's showing you that, Bryce, welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome. The party's just getting started.
Matthew sent me a text earlier, and you missed this joke. He asked if I wanted to gem a stream V. So
Just
there you
Bryce,
go.
I was channeling Bryce there.
He was channeling Bryce there. He really was.
I have a feeling we should title this video Jim Stream V or something.
The Gem Stream V.
Yeah.
So I don't actually have the command dials with me, but I do have the dice. So hold on.
Let's go look at that. I have another question about it too when you show that.
So there's 3 kinds of dice. There's black dice, blue dice, and red dice. And if you're thinking about it in universe, your red dice are your main armament, your turbo lasers. So they have the longest range, and they can do a lot of damage, but they also have 2 spots on the dice. They're all 8-sided dice, but they have 2 spots that are misses. But they also have a double hit. So they can do a lot of damage, but they can also miss. And you can use them at long range, which this is a range tool. So everything from here to here would be considered short range. And then from here to here would be medium range. And then this entire ruler is long range. You then have the blue dice, which this is your like anti-starfighter weapons and your ion cannons. They don't have they're the only dice that doesn't have a miss, and they have a few accuracies which you can use to negate defense tokens. But so they're a little more consistent. You can only use them at medium range, but they don't do as much damage. And then you have probably the best dice in the game, which is the black dice. This is your ordnance. So if you have like if your ship has proton torpedoes or concussion missiles, then this is what you have. You can only use them at close range. And like the red dice, they have two faces that are a miss, but they also have two faces that are either a double hit, one normal hit, and a critical hit, and then 4 hit, and then before that are just normal hit. Whereas one of the red dice is an accuracy, so you can there's technically 5 of 8 chance to hit with this. There's a 6 to 8 chance to hit with this, and each ship has different stats. Again, take the base plate off, and it's on the base plate. If you can kind of see in the front how there's 4 red and 4 blue, that means if the enemy ship is within this arc, you can roll 4 red dice and 4 blue dice. This is for the Star Destroyer. It's pretty powerful.
I'm actually taking a note, Dylan, as you were describing that. I was like, never play Dylan in this game.
Yeah, it sounds really cool.
No,
I'm not that good at it. There's a local game store that hosts Armada Night every Monday, and I get completely destroyed every time I go.
Oh,
okay. So here's my card from Zombies 13. I love my face on this. Constipated. Hold on, let's see if
The maneuver tools.
That's me. Keep on rolling. The actual picture is me going, oh, like that, because I was like, see? And he drew it like that, like constipated man. Let's see if it'll fit again. But this guy has to take. Come on, dude, focus. I want it focused. There it is.
There we go.
That dude has to take a dookie on a bike. Okay.
Yeah.
That's something. But I was like, the real picture's like, I thought it was really cool when I took the picture, but he just kind of goofed it up. But anyway, my wife looks much better.
He's shooting those zombies behind you.
Another one that I was going to do, because originally Bake was going to be my card, and I asked Carrie if I could get the misses and the kids on it, and she said, "Sure, let's do that instead." But mine was going to be called Street Magic, and I was going to be able to appear from one street to the next. I like fast movement. That's the thing I love. People like big, strong weapons. But I like things that make you move fast. So I had a top hat and everything. I was going to be going like presenting and everything, like a Vegas, Vegas street musician.
Yeah.
So they're street magicians. And I was like, well, that'd be cool. You disappear here and you can appear anywhere on the board. Restrictions apply. I don't want it to be a super big card. But that's what I wrote her. Then I wrote back and said, you know what? We already have a card with me on it. Can I do one with the wife and the kids? And she said, sure. I was like, awesome.
That's
and I came with that idea too. I wrote the rules for both the cards.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
go ahead. I was gonna say I got to draw my cousin did this one with me and my wife. It's a little bit blurry, sorry, but
your faces are glowing.
Yes.
We're Force Ghosts.
It's the Luminous.
That's Project Luminous.
That is Project Luminous.
I'll have to send it to you guys, but
yeah,
we're just Jedi.
Wisdom, I'll catch Wisdom Toast up. Here's what's
Wisdom
going
Toast.
on. Dylan plays Armada. Adam is part of Project Luminous. I'm talking about zombies and Highlander. And Matthew is just sitting here wondering why.
Shooting typos.
Shooting tacos.
Rob says, Dylan, do you think you could beat R2D2 at the Dejarik Hollow Chess?
No, I can't play chess or Dejarik.
Nice.
Well,
so how many people do you usually play Armada with? Is it like a big group or is it just?
So it's usually a one-on-one thing. However, they did there's a Carillion expansion, Conquest expansion, which is kind of like a long protracted campaign, which can be 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. But you don't actually play 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. It's just like there are 3 almost like admirals, and you each have your own fleet, and you're working together. So you're like, there's a campaign map, and you're like, okay, so we're going to attack Drawl, and then and then the Imperial. And we're going to attack the Drawl, and with this player is going to be the Admiral is going to attack Drawl. And then the other side goes, okay, who are we going to have to defend Drawl? And then you kind of take points back and forth with the campaign. pains in each rounds. Now, at the end of it, there is an option where if one team has enough victory points, they can call an all or nothing battle, which is where you do get the 3v3, and it's absolutely crazy. It takes a long time to do.
Wow, that's awesome. There's a board game place across the not across the street, but in my area that I just noticed a couple weeks ago. Need to go check it out sometime. I hear they do Dungeons and Dragons there, and I've never played that, but it kind of sounds fun. But
so I have my. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, there's one down the street from my house, Matthew. If we ever next time we hang out, I'll have to take you there. It's actually
we just need to go check it out. We'll bring our own game.
Yeah, we'll vlog it.
Well, thanks for the lack of invite there, Adam. I appreciate that. Well,
hey, you're
Dylan, I guess
from Oklahoma.
I would say if you're getting into D&D, it's a good time to get in because a lot of people are playing 5e, which is a lot more simplified version of it. It's fine for beginners, but once you get I would recommend 3.5 once you get a little bit more, your feet wet a little, because it's a lot better in my opinion. But you should be able to find a group there that'll take you in, as long as you're consistent in showing up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because I got a book that was sent to me, which I showed last week on the stream. That it was a Dungeons and Dragons Magic and Spells book. It's for the youth. It's like an introductory book to the characters and magic spell stuff. And I talked to a guy at work, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to play this at work." And I was like, "Yeah, on a lunch break or something." And then he started talking to people at the office, and there's other people at the office that have played or know people. And then one guy just walks into my office. He's like, "Hey, heard you're talking about joining Dungeons and Dragons games." And I'm like, "I just got a book in the mail. I don't know." And then he starts going on and telling me about this stuff, and it sounds fun. It also sounds very overwhelming.
Yeah,
you need to learn a lot of stuff.
Three things. Whenever you said, "Come join us in Oklahoma," I want to be Steve Martin from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and go, "Oklahoma," and then bang around pots and pans all around the room. Okay, the second thing, Wisdom Toast. I'm so glad you're liking the reviews. Yes, the X-Wing books are so much fun to review. In fact, getting to review a bunch of Bantam books, you are going to see the videos triple in length, because I found out that I cannot shut my stupid mouth when it comes to talking about Bantam. I can't. I've got to spoil a lot. Just because there's just so much I want to talk about in those videos. So those videos, expect them to get way longer. I know everyone's happy to hear that because that's what they wanted at the first beginning. I just try to keep them short and straight and to the point. But I'm noticing with my Bantam reviews, I can't do that. I just got too much.
I mean, Bantam is arguably like the golden age of the EU.
I believe it is. To me. And that's probably one of the reasons why. And I just love talking about them, because I think they get often passed up and forgotten, since, we all love Del Rey's Error of the New Jedi Order and so on. And we talk about that a whole lot. We tend to talk about that a whole lot. Then we talk about Bantam. But we've already talked about Bantam back in the day, so that I understand.
The Bantam, they mostly focused on the New Republic era, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I read a majority of those before I thought about doing reviews. So I never kept note. I just kind of went from one to the other. So I kind of forgot about a lot of the storylines that happened in those. So I'll have to, when I get to them in my timeline, slowly, eventually, I will reread them.
Rob D says that my New Jedi Order videos are going to be lasting an hour each. I hope not, but who knows?
It's just going to be. You're just going to have what's going to happen is you're just going to have like a list, and it's like, so this book was great. Anyway, these people die.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, I am going to have to talk about the deaths, because a lot of them do impact the storyline. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to reveal it now, but there's one character who dies at the end of the last chapter, and you're like, what the heck? And like, you don't even hear about this person to the very end. You know who it is because they were a character in the Bantam era. But that death totally changes the story arc for the rest of the storyline. You have to talk about it, because then we don't know what's going on with that person.
Another character again, that death has direct implications for that character.
Yes. And it is a huge story arc because of that one death. And so there's a lot of deaths like that make sense. I mean, the Voxen are going to kill some people, and you're like, wait, what? One just gets reported as just a write-off, and I'm going, wait, did they say so-and-so just died? And you look back and it's like, oh my gosh, they killed so-and-so off, just.
And
just
it's not just that one. Like that so-and-so is like on a list of like 4 or 5 other that were also off screen who didn't have as much clout as that so-and-so, but you're still like.
I'm just shocked. I was like, wow, they just killed off that character. They didn't. I can't say they didn't care, but they were just trying to show the depth and the threat that the Vong really were.
Speaking of these threats to Jedi and whatnot, this Project Luminous thing, a new canon, it's the High Republic. Have you guys heard about this, Matt and Dylan?
I have.
I
I watched your stream.
I know you guys. Oh, thank you. How boring that was whenever when it went live. They were so late to the announcement, but I just want to hear your opinion on this one. Okay, 200 years before the Skywalker saga. Okay, they're like, what is it that the Jedi are scared of? So instead of saying the Sith or something that has been introduced previously that the Jedi are terrified of, they make up something completely new. Space Vikings, called the Nile.
Not to be confused with Darth Nile.
Wait, so why? Why would they just do Sith?
I think Matt Wilkins has that face like, I want to throw up so bad right now.
I mean,
okay. So
just another misstep. Just another.
I'll play devil's advocate here. Okay.
Yeah.
The Sith would be the classic villain. You would think they'd be warring with the Sith. However, we always are talking about stop repeating the
same
expanded universe and start going on your own path, which they are attempting to do. But if they think this is going to make Old Republic fans happy, it's not. It's not. I feel it is to capitalize on the love that the Old Republic has, but it's their version. They won't even take the Old Republic line because they want to do their own one, and they're going to do it better.
Well, in new canon, from my understanding, the Republic is only 1,000 years old.
That's true.
Yeah, and this is going to be 200 years before with the Jedi in their prime. So Yoda, he died at age 900. So he's going to be what, 600, 700?
Oh, he'll be streaking. He'll be in his party days.
His college days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and what's funny is they never even said anything about him. I wonder if they forgot that he's 900 years old.
I will.
Yeah. So, and I thought they would have included Yoda on the art, something like, oh yeah, we're going to see one of the familiar, one
Not
person
wear my
that would have been
space
there.
diapers. I won't, because those exist.
Yeah, but it's going to be a weird direction that they're going to try to take things in, and I don't know how I really feel about it. I'll read the first book, see how it goes.
Yeah.
There's Claudia Gray; she's a great author. I'll see how that one goes. But I know, Adam, you liked Last Shot by Daniel Jose Older, correct?
I did. Yeah, I like
he's one of my least favorite authors in the new canon, and his Twitter and he says some crazy stuff on Twitter. Just not looking forward to seeing what he does, but they want to include everybody.
Which one is he writing again?
What's that?
Which one is he writing again?
I think it's just a comic book.
Oh, okay.
But apparently he's going to have a bunch of new 2020 checkpoints that he has to hit to please everybody. This is going to be interesting.
Wisdom Ghost says Yoda was in the art.
It was?
I didn't see him.
I never saw it.
Well, one of the other things, if you put it in a perspective, like, okay, man, let's say that the expanded universe is still together, and they said we're going to go 200 years in the past and call it what's it called again?
High Republic.
High Republic. Okay. I'd be like, well, they've done good with it so far with anything in the past, so I'd give it a shot. Yeah, if it was expanded universe. And that they're going with the Space Viking thing instead of the Sith, I'm for that too. It's something different. So, I mean, to be honest, someone asked Matt, what do you know about the High Republic? The Luminous. I know one thing for sure. I know I won't be interested in it.
Right.
I mean, that's the one thing I know.
I look forward to that.
Putting it in the perspective of, okay, what if it was old expanded universe, stuff like that? Because I know someone's going to ask that question. Okay, then yes, I would be interested. And yes, bravo for not picking the Sith. But I think they're doing this because they know the Old Republic is really popular, and they think, "Ooh, we're going to make the Old Republic better," and that's always a mistake. That's always a mistake when you think you can fix something that's not broke.
Right.
I think
that's why a lot of movie remakes people roll their eyes over because they're never as good as the original. Very rarely.
I'm not exactly sure if it's as groundbreaking and new as a lot of people are claiming them, because
I don't think
maybe they'll bring it. Maybe the Space Vikings will be a galaxy threat, but even in the expanded universe and what little we got of that in between, we did have the Jedi putting down like massive threats, like the Inshori Uprising and the Battle of the Mandalorians on Galadriel.
Well, what's funny is that Timothy Zahn did bring in something that was a new threat to the entire galaxy with the Grisk, but they forgot about it.
Well, from everything I'm hearing, Timothy Zahn is almost in his own little sandbox within
That's where he wanted to be, though. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's enough with the new canon talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was going to
ask Dylan about Armada. That's how desperate I was to get off the subject.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to bring up something else that was kicked off with the expanded universe. There is the March bracket madness going on with the top. How many authors?
64.
64 authors. Who wants to take over and talk about that and tell people what that is?
I'd like to talk about it just for a minute. Folks, we purposely snubbed Greg Bear. Is that correct?
Yep.
We did it on
New York Times best-selling author of Rogue Planet, Greg Bear.
It takes Matthew 2 years to read the book, and we thought, man, he must be a really terrible author if Matthew can't even get through that book. So Dylan and I were on purpose left him. Oh no, I'm kidding. It was a total accident. And to be honest, it is I'm gonna take the fault for that because I told Dylan, and I did this, and I think Dylan was with me. I was looking at my books, going one by one by naming authors. I went down the whole row, and Rogue Planet is in there. And I don't know what I was doing, but I totally missed that book when I was doing the count. He only wrote one book. And Dylan was the one that caught it later on. But back
after
then,
we recorded all the videos,
recorded everything. We had set the bracket up. Matthew had worked on something for me. Dylan had worked on a logo for me. We had already done all this work, and it's set to go live, and I have zero time to replace it. So, and it's a shame because Greg Bear should have been in it. He would have been a low card, obviously, but not too low. And we would have bumped. I even know the guy we would have bumped off because I was searching through Westing Games common contributors, and there were some that I didn't think deserved to be in there, but they wrote enough to where let's put them in there. So I think one of the 16 seeds, like Timothy O'Brien, I would have taken him out because he didn't write anything of significance that I thought would be good enough. But no, don't wonder. Please don't wonder. We can't do this. It goes live tomorrow. But it goes live tomorrow. You should vote for your favorite author. If your favorite author is Greg Bear, then blame Matthew from The Geeksattic because he obviously doesn't think that book is worth reading. He'd rather read Queen Amidala's,
Queen's Peril.
The Queen's Peril. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember what it was called.
Made my eyes bleed.
Matt, do you mind if I
the Gem Stream V? Do
you mind if I screen share? If you screen share the bracket, like the blank bracket?
Yeah, go ahead. And this will be available. It is available for everyone right now. You can go on the website and download the bracket. Just click on the logo and it takes you right to the link.
Yeah.
And you can also convert that to PDF. I don't know if I think I gave it to Chris, but I don't know what happened to that. I may not have. But anyway, oh yeah, look at this.
So just making sure that So this is what the bracket looks like. There's an Excel sheet and there's also a PDF if you want to fill it out. But it has all of the matchups here. So like first round in the core worlds, you got Timothy Zahn, Vaughn McIntyre, Lynn Cunningham, R.A. Salvatore, so on. The way that you would fill out this bracket, because people in our Discord were having trouble with this, so you click this box here where the two, like shaded in box, and then you get this drop-down menu here. So you drop down, and you pick who you think is going to win. So obviously, of course, Vaughn McIntyre is going to destroy Timothy Zahn the first round, so that's the correct pick. So you do that, and then let's say R.A. Salvatore. And then once you get those two in, you can go to the next round, and Those two will be up in here again. So again, Vaughn and McIntyre are just going to clean out everyone, and so on and so on. So this is the full bracket of everyone. Now, if you haven't read all of the expanded universe, and not only all the expanded universe, all of the Weston game short stories and adventure journals, and all of the young adult books, don't worry. You don't have to know. You don't have to recognize all these authors with just this. I've actually submitted an article to the Expanded Universe website that has a full breakdown of every author in this tournament and their complete bibliography of everything they've written. So if you don't know, if you don't recognize the authors, but you recognize the book, you can be like, oh, they did this. You can use that as a resource. Oh, I like that book, so they're pretty good. Or wow, this person did a lot. I don't know either of these two, but this guy did a lot, so he's a little better.
Well, that's a relief because I'm still trying to work my way through the expanded universe.
Yeah.
So and I posted that, correct, Dylan?
I saw it.
Yeah.
There is a typo in it though. Dave Wolverton. There's two back-to-back 16s. That's the only typo I saw.
Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that one.
Yeah. All right. So stop sharing.
I thought you were gonna say if you don't know who these people are, then you just can't play along.
That's what I thought you were about to say too. It's like, well, I guess I can play in next year or something.
and that bracket I just showed you, that's just for. So the way that's going to work on the website is that there's going to be a poll that goes up. So it'll be that first round, Timothy Zahn versus Vaughn and McIntyre. And between those two, you're going to vote which of these two authors do you think is better, or do you like more, or whatever. Then at the end of that poll, whichever author has the more votes advances to the next round. And it's going to do that for every single one of those matchups. And then we're just going to keep doing that until we get down to the one author left that I guess is the best of the EU.
Sounds pretty fun. Sounds awesome.
And the brackets are for you to make predictions on who you think is going to win. See how close you can get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Adam, who goes the whole way?
As far as expanded universe authors?
Yeah.
So far,
for you,
my favorite. My favorite is James Luceno, but that's
a very popular choice.
Like
Matthew,
that's what I would like to say too. But I'm going to go ahead and say that people like old Timothy Zahn the most.
Rob, what Dylan's meaning is that we put numbers by them, like a 1 seed, 2 seed, 3 seed, 4 seed.
Yeah,
that's what the numbers are. So, and considered with popularity. Now, the numbers are made; they're very superficial. There's no official thing on there, but that's also that you're going to see upsets. We expect to see a few upsets as the time goes on. People may be outraged by this, and outraged by that. But the thing is, though, the votes are going to say who won. And to be honest, I don't know if there is a clear leader. I think we'll find that out in the first round, or maybe the second or third. As we get deeper, it may be clearer, because you never know. From the thing about we couldn't do it with the EU characters again, is because Mara Jade just demolished every single. Even the big names. She just as she went deeper into this tournament, she garnered more and more votes. The winning percentage by Mara Jade was so dominant. By the time she got to the final four, there was no way she could have. Day one, she just beat the other guy, and then the championship, it was over in the first half day or something. You could tell this guy was never going to get any votes. It's like, wow. It's like, even though they made a lot of votes beforehand, when they get to Mara Jade, everyone picks Mara Jade. That person's all their support, all their backers gone. They jump ship immediately to Mara Jade. And so I was thinking, well, that was a lot of fun, but we can't do it again. Someone says, well, remove Mara Jade. Well, no, because the second runner-up will probably win, and then we have to remove them, and then the third runner-up. So that wasn't fun. So talking about the EU authors, I said, that's a good one. We left the comic book writers off on purpose because maybe later on, like a future year, we'll do one with comic book writers.
Yeah,
probably a smaller one, because it'll probably be a smaller one, because while there are a lot of comic book writers, a lot of them, I would say about 50% of the people who have written a comic for the Star Wars Expanded Universe wrote like a one-shot for Tales.
Right.
And that's it.
Yeah, and so we'll we'll go ahead and put some of their names in there, put them in. Maybe do 2 half brackets 1 year or something like that. 2 different tournaments or something. But we definitely got ideas for years to come.
It's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, but we wanted to switch it up. And I mean, after what did I say, Dylan? Maybe after 4 years of doing this, we would go back to EU characters and see if anyone's taste has changed. You know, even though I doubt it. With Mara Jade, it's just like there's just no doubt. But you know, we're going to continue it because it's so much fun to do, and I think the EU author is going to be a big one.
And this
go ahead.
Well, I was going to say this one should be a lot closer because I mean, a lot of the first round matchups are probably going to go with the favorite winning out, maybe 1 or 2 upsets, but
Right.
there is probably about a half dozen authors who have a really good chance of winning it all, and like another half dozen who if they get hot, so to say, or if their fans really pull for, could also make a big run and upset some people. So.
And I should mention that the polls will run about roughly 3 days. On day 3 at an unspecified time, I'm going to take a snapshot of the numbers, and that's what they're going to be. So if it's too close to call and someone keeps voting for their favorite later on, gives them a late push, once I think there's a way for me to close on the poll, I think.
And where's this voting taking place?
It's taking place on the website.
TheExpandedUniverse.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you'll be able to cast your vote and everything, but at a certain point, I'm going to cut it off. So someone
And it goes live
barely-
tomorrow, you say?
goes live tomorrow.
Okay, I'll put a link in this video description, and I'll put a link everywhere else too.
And you know what? Hey, you know what? Hit up the authors on Twitter. Let the authors know that they're getting voted on right now, and they need to get their people involved. And I mean, I can really see people getting their fans involved, and it's something to be fun. Say, hey guys, there's a tournament supposedly with my name on it. Let's get this. Throw me some votes if you think so, because I think it's going to be fun for a lot of people, and we want a lot of fans to get involved and just have fun with it. Because I mean, ultimately, to me, and I'm sure to Dylan too, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who wins. We're just going to have fun. If my favorite author doesn't win, I'm not going to scream foul.
Oh, I know my favorite author is not going to win. He's a 2C too, and I'm like, yeah, it's not going to happen. He'll get far, but I don't. He's not. Yeah,
Jacob, that's who I'm cheering for too. I'm pulling for Kevin J, KJA. But Dylan threw down some hate, didn't he?
That video is not out yet. Oh no, that video is out.
That video is out. There's some other videos we pre-recorded to give you a preview of each one. Dylan and I are going to break it down ESPN style, and we're hoping to do that again when the results are in. Just because it's just so much fun to do, and so it's going to be fun.
I'm calling my shot now. I've got Brian Daly beating Kevin J. Anderson out in the Sweet 16.
Ooh, Brian Daly, he's good.
And then I got Stackpole beating Daly in the Elite 8.
And that's going to be a hard thing. We talked about this. Are people going to vote with their head or their heart?
Mm-hmm. Most likely the heart.
Terry Brooks. We got Terry Brooks, who did 1 book, and I thought was mediocre. I thought it was below mediocre. I thought episode 1 is the weakest novelization out of all the prequel novels. And yet,
he's got such a big resume with other books, and it's like, are people going to vote just in like, okay, this is just the expanded universe works, or are they going to bring in the other things?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see.
I have something fun here if you guys are interested.
Okay.
Sure.
How about a little bit of trivia?
Oh, all right.
From Masters Quiz Book.
Real quick, Jacob, if Steve Perry wins, Jeremy's agreed to wear Caesar's see-through robe. Okay.
Oh my God.
You guys ready to do some old school
Let's
stuff here? All right. Okay. So I want to ask you some questions from The Empire Strikes Back. Okay. This is just right out of the book here. Some of the stuff's super easy. Some of it's, I don't know, might be hard.
Yeah. Are you going to direct the question to one of us?
Do you guys want to do it speed round to see who can say it first?
Or just raise your hand first. Or...
Raise your hands first.
Go ahead.
Okay. What ultimate plan did Vader have for Luke?
Join him and take out the Emperor.
Yeah, to take over Luke's training so that the two of them could rule the Empire together. Okay, this is
That was hard.
here's a funny question. What was the color of Vader's hair? Matt?
He was
Vader,
bald.
Darth Vader. He was bald.
Yeah, he didn't have any.
Oh, okay. Is this a joke book or trivia?
It's the Jedi Master's quiz book.
Oh boy.
Who was the commander of the lead walker in Hoth Snow Battle?
Oh.
Veers.
Correct. How many Star Destroyers are seen in the Imperial fleet in The Empire Strikes Back?
3?
No, it's more than that. It's at least a dozen, I would believe.
Matt?
I don't, Dylan. I don't think they showed that many. I would say. Hold on.
On screen at the same time, it's probably
you
4
had-
or 5.
No, because you had the Executor coming by, and you had a few Star Destroyers to show the difference between them.
Mhm.
Adam's very close. I will say 4. We're playing prices right now.
The correct answer would be 6.
Oh, I should have said Samsonite. I was so close because I knew you saw a few of them against the Executor, but then you saw others in the background.
Right. What was the surgeon droid's name?
Oh, jeez.
MTD?
No, it's 21B4 or something. B, it had a B in it.
Yeah, 21B.
21B. Oh.
What was the surgeon droid's assistant called?
Oh, F that. I know what he looked like. I don't know what he's called.
Was that MTD?
Nope.
I'm getting my droids. I don't know my
No,
droids as well.
It was a droid with the multiple arms.
I'd never heard of this at all
He had
anywhere.
one red eye. He locked in. He was the droid that locked into the Bacta tank for Luke when Luke was in space.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the health droid in Battlefront.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Battlefront too.
Battlefront, yeah, that exact droid, you stand next to it and it heals you.
No one? No guesses?
I got nothing.
I had the toy.
Can't remember that name on the toy.
Okay, I'm gonna take a guess. Is there an? Can I? Is there? I'd like to guess. We're playing Wheel of Fortune here.
Okay.
Is there an X?
There is an X.
Ooh. Okay, hold on. Let me think. It's got to be an X1. Hold on. An X. Let's go with. I want to say FX, but that's not. That's Fox. I'm thinking about. Let me go with. It's not B again. It can't be B. X1. It's a.
Go back to where you were thinking.
Go back to where I was thinking.
What you were thinking. What you were just thinking. You said it can't be.
FX. So it's close to that.
Yeah. It.
I don't know. FX. It's not it. That's not it.
Say it. How do you know? You said FX, wasn't it?
GX? I don't know.
No, it's not GX. It has an X in it. 'Cause I thought it did. Well, I don't. Screw it. FX. I don't know. FX1. I don't know.
FX7.
FX7. Okay, there you go.
Yes.
I was close. Again, I got the 21B4, but I got the numbers right. But I'm just missing something there. Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. I had the toys. I remember the toys.
Okay. Yeah. See, that was interesting. Is this
True.
book that I reviewed earlier in the stream?
True story. When I was reading Lando Calrissian's trilogy, I couldn't imagine what Vufi Ra looked like, and so I imagined he looked like FX, the FX1 droid.
Yeah.
That's what I imagined he looked like when I was reading that book.
Matt, now I'm just like, never play Matt Wilkinson Wheel of Fortune. You know?
I had the toys. That's the only reason.
So I did a review on this book earlier in the stream, and there is a foreword or an introduction by Ryder Wyndham, and it's pretty interesting. He says, like, if you're familiar with Rick O'Lee, the Sand Aqua Monster, Slave One, Vari Kino, IG-88, Lobot, and the Ewoks, you must be a fan of Star Wars because, and they don't even, sorry, but if you recognize any of those names, that's remarkable because none of them are mentioned in Star Wars on film, just in the books, comics, toy packages, or just pure osmosis, is what he says.
I think
Ryder
Kenner
Wyndham
got
is in the tournament, by the way.
I think Kenner. What? Oh, I think Kenner got to name a lot of those EU characters.
Yeah.
Jacob has a question for me about did Lucasfilm throw a big fit about the whole Princess or robe thing? From what I understand, they just wanted this big multimedia project to go through, and no one wanted to tell Steve Perry he couldn't do it.
They should have.
Later on, they curbed that, and they didn't have that in there because I think that was very uncharacteristic for them to have that scene in there. Plus, it was just an icky scene, so to speak, that would never go in today. Today, the new Lucasfilm would never have a scene like that ever. And so that was one that they just let go because they wanted to make Steve Perry happy and not say no to him. But after that, I'm sure the net was cashed because you never see him write like that again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many books did Steve Perry write after that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he co-wrote some stuff, right?
Did he?
That's about all he did after that.
Well, I mean, that's true. But the thing is, though, yeah. It was one of those things, one of those moments. I think Lucasfilm just was so excited about getting it out there, and he was so adamant that he wanted this. They let him have it, but that was a one-time thing.
I kind of wonder when my brother kept recommending this Shadows of the Empire. I was wondering, just like, I kind of want to film his reaction to reading this stuff. I'd be like,
Okay, I've got some more questions if you guys want to do some more.
I'm loving this. Go for it.
Yeah,
go for it.
Okay, so who claimed it's not my fault, and when?
It was
Han Solo when the no, it was Han Solo when the no, it was Lando. You're right.
Yeah.
When the hyperdrive doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. My fault. They told me they fixed it. It's not my fault.
So who?
Lando.
Is that everybody's guess there?
Maybe we're wrong, but I'll keep with it.
It's Lando.
It's Han and Lando when each attempts to engage the hyperdrive and fails. Kind of like a trick question there, isn't it?
Yeah, work on it too.
Interesting thing, while we're on the subject of Empire Strikes Back, so when Lando rescues Luke from that tower, Luke has literally never seen Lando before up until that point. He has no clue who that is.
Yeah.
Here comes the Falcon, and here's this guy that's like, here.
But he falls lovingly into his arms.
I was about to say, I'm so glad Lando didn't try to offer him a handshake at that point.
He's like, "Hi, I'm Lando."
Please meet you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, the reason I'm wearing Han's clothes. This is a long story.
I can explain.
I just went through my buddy's closet. He just had some stuff. I just want to put it on for a minute. By the way, when he's cradling him as he's bringing him in.
So don't be mad, but your friend, I may or may not have sold him to a gangster.
Yeah, it's fine because Luke didn't realize it was Han. It wasn't Han at first. He was like, "I'm sorry, but all you smugglers look alike."
Okay.
Lando, the guardian angel.
Here's Matt. Okay, we gotta move on.
No. Just some of these questions are silly. That who is referred to as the professor?
Oh, C-3PO.
C-3PO.
Correct. How was the Imperial probot destroyed on Hoth?
Come on. Chewie distracted him, and Han shot him, but he self-destructed.
True, but they say Han shot it.
So Han shot first.
Right.
Again.
Actually, no, I think it shot first.
Well, it shot at Chewie. It shot at Chewie first. Yeah. It didn't shoot at Han. Han likes shooting at stuff that does not shoot at him.
Here's a good one. What did R2 say?
Did you hear, though, in the Disney Plus version, the pro droid, before he shoots Chewbacca, says McClunky.
That's Greedo.
No, it's the pro droid, too.
In each movie, when there's each movie, the first shot, somebody says McClunky.
McClunky.
That'd be funny. Ewok McClunky. What did R2 say were the odds against Luke and Han's survival on the plains of Hoth?
R2?
Beep boop babo boop beep.
No,
3PO said the odds.
3PO said the odds, but he translated. R2D2 says the odds are 7 million to 1 or whatever.
720 to 1.
Yeah, he gets something million
to survive on the Hoth
3,000. Oh, I know it's 700. It's something 720 to 1.
I thought it was 3,725 to 1.
I'm gonna. 725
to 1.
Oh,
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yes.
Thank you for doing that. That needs to be a meme now.
This book. Who did Leia fall in love with?
What kind of question is that?
Okay. In a deleted scene, Chewie, but in the movie, Han.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a single person that has seen The Empire Strikes Back that couldn't answer that question correctly? I'm genuinely curious.
Could be. I'm just gonna skip across.
Have you seen the Family Guy version of this where Lois, who plays Leia, says, "I love you," and then Peter's like, "F off."
Okay, guys, I found that there's a spot in here that says tough trivia.
Okay.
You guys ready for some tough trivia?
Bring it.
Okay. Let me see. Marking this page here. What creature did no? That can't be tough. What creature did Ben fend off from Luke in the cantina? Okay, yeah.
Oh,
It was wasn't it aquafish or whatever? Is that what-
Aqualish, yeah.
What creature did Ben fend off from Luke in the cantina?
Yeah, it was an Aqualish.
Snaggletooth.
That's
Snaggletooth?
incorrect.
Well, his name may have been Snaggletooth, but he was an
Yeah.
Aqualish.
No,
Yeah.
and the toy Snaggletooth is that other little spaceman who's greedy for his drink.
Well, didn't he? Yeah, I guess Ben did. Ben to push him first.
Did Ben also kill him?
No, that trivia is wrong there.
What creature pulled Luke under the muck in the trash compactor?
The Diogna, or whatever it's called. Dioga.
The Dianoga.
Diagonally.
Samsonite. I was so close.
Here's a good one. What was the code number of the trash compactor?
oh, geez. Oh,
It wasn't 1138, was it? Okay.
I don't think anyone's going to get this one.
Don't know. That's a good one. Don't know.
I know the elevator number from Revenge of the Sith, and I don't know this one.
Rob D has it.
7453627.
Yeah, Rob has it.
Oh,
326-3827.
That is a funny scene where they're screaming in victory, and 3PO thinks they're screaming because they're dying.
They're dying, yeah. Brutal.
They're dying. It's all, and then he says, "We're alive," and 3PO goes,
I'm surprised someone hasn't made like some YouTube video of them actually dying and see, Anyway, what's small? Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm surprised someone hasn't edited that scene to where Luke says, "Where are we?" Then someone just plays an 8675309.
Oh man, what small droid was scared by Chewbacca on the Death Star?
"Mouse droid."
Yeah,
They finger droid.
the mouse robot. You're wrong.
Yeah, those were so easy to make as toys. You could have made a little remote control mouse droid car. I think it would have sold like hotcakes.
Oh yeah, why haven't they done that now?
I have no idea.
I've seen people at Celebration who, the droid makers, they have them. They drive them around.
Yeah. People who make those like R2D2s and stuff. It's funny. It's like we asked.
Either story where someone has a mouse droid. That'd be fun.
They brought mouse droids into the canon. There's a short story about a mouse droid. In the
Screw that.
what was that thing called?
The thing is, though, that's a good idea because they're cleaner droids. You would see them in the galaxy.
Yeah, it was from a certain point of view. There's a short story about a mouse droid.
Matt,
yeah.
you're literally Woody, and I think it was Toy Story 2 when like he's like, I don't want to play with you anymore in that like dream sequence. And whenever he hears that something was done in canon,
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Drops.
Star Wars is like in the trash, like, no, Matt.
What was the new model of land speeder that made Luke's less valuable?
Since they got there's not as much.
T-17?
It's the black. It's the black one. It's the
No, it
black.
was the T-17 Skyhopper. That was what he flew. That wasn't the land speeder.
Yeah, what was the new model of land speeder that made Luke's less valuable?
I know the one he drove was the T16, correct?
I think so.
Yeah.
You Googling? Somebody cheating? You guys Googling?
No.
You guys give up?
Hands right
Yeah.
here.
I have no idea.
It's the XP38.
Oh. We were way off.
I didn't know that one. Is it black?
It doesn't say.
It seems like I remember. Well, maybe I just made that up. I remember there was another ship in there that was a land speeder. It had a encased space. It wasn't open like the brown land speeder, but it looked sleek and everything. And I always imagined that was the newer version.
Right. Yeah, I thought Luke's was the coolest looking though. This one I wouldn't have known this one. Who was Red 6 in the Battle of the Death Star?
Was it Biggs?
No, Biggs was red 3.
Oh, okay.
In the novel, he was Blue 4.
Oh. I was either gonna guess Wedge, but I think he was red 4. I think
Wedge was red 2. Biggs was red 3. I think you're right, and Porkins was red 6.
Porkins?
Yep. Rob has it. Porkins.
What? I said it though.
You said Porkins?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
Thanks for ignoring me.
I didn't hear you.
Obviously, Rob heard me and he repeated my.
Rob just repeated you. Here's a funny one. We're not going to do this one. What are the titles of the 16 musical segments written for Star Wars?
Oh, come on,
What? No, that's kind of stupid.
Star
Who
Wars
called-
main theme.
How did Lieutenant Porkins die in the Battle of the Death Star?
He got blowed up.
He got blown up. By who?
Vader.
Porkins? No, he had a mishap. There was something wrong, and then his basically crashed.
It says his fighter was destroyed by Vader's ship when his instrument panel malfunctioned. Novel only.
Oh,
Novel only. Wow.
somebody read that book.
What was the code name for the stormtrooper who left his post while guarding the Millennium Falcon?
TK-421.
421.
That's right.
That's so
Do
easy.
you know what it was in the novel?
TK422. I'm kidding.
No.
THX 1138. Is that what you were about to say?
Yep, I said it.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Get questions on dates. Looks like. Do you guys good with
Have
dates?
you seen? There is a hard one I bought a few years ago. Obsessed with Star Wars. Have you seen the Obsessed with Star Wars
Mm-mm.
trivia? It's really hard. Hold on.
Oh my god! When was Anthony Daniels' birthday?
I think Anthony Daniels is the only one that's been in every live-action Star Wars movie so far.
Except for Solo.
Oh yeah.
I thought he was in Solo. They gave him like a weird role.
Did they? They could have. Just he didn't play 3PO.
Yeah, he wasn't 3PO, but I think they gave him like another droid role somewhere.
I'm checking it out now.
Well, his birthday was February 21st.
What year?
It doesn't say.
Every year.
Yeah. Good one. It's like one of those jokes that I heard. It's like, how long are you going to be in there? The whole time.
All right, here you go. All right, what broke as a window and never mind. That's an easy one. All right, hold on.
Oh, he was in Solo.
It was?
He played Tack. Is what is.
Yeah, I could have sworn they'd give. I'm pretty sure because I saw that stat posted somewhere,
Yeah.
and I'm almost sure like, oh, they must have given him some weird role in Rogue One. No, he was in Rogue One, like as C-3PO, but they must have given him some like weird role in Solo, some random droid.
Do you guys remember the feud Kenny Baker and Anthony Daniels had before Baker died? Yeah, he was complaining about Baker all the time, I think.
He said that Anthony Daniels was very rude to him.
Yeah.
Because Anthony Daniels didn't think much of him.
I saw Anthony Daniels once before when Star Wars went on the tour, like Star Wars music concert tour. He wore a gold tuxedo type vest.
Okay. Who was the senatorial representative from Mon Calamari? Haley Mills, Haley Seals, Mina Tills, or Quella Norvanto?
Mina Till sounds familiar.
I'm gonna go with C.
A.
Mina Tills is correct. See, some of these are pretty easy, but some of them are just like I wouldn't know that. But it doesn't give you the answers. You have to randomly push this little box that randomly gives you different questions to look up. So here we go. We'll answer this one together. And so, what did Princess Leia discover from the wounded rebel while on a diplomat mission to Raltier? That she was adopted, that the Emperor was going to dissolve the Senate, that the Empire was constructing a Death Star. Well, obviously, that's it.
But what did she learn from?
Yeah, well, she knew that they're doing a Death Star. So it just randomly picks another one.
Oh, okay.
And you just keep playing. If you stop, it'll eventually just turn off on its own.
That's
I
cool.
can't remember. I think Megan saw me playing with this at Target one day a long time ago, and she said, "Well, we get it." And I was like, "Nah, I don't need it." And she went ahead and got it for me for my birthday or something. And I was like, "Okay."
I have more trivia, like trivia cards. They're not with me right now. To do a whole stream on this. Actually, keep score.
Got it right. What? Here you go. What blaster is issued to the clone troopers? A CD. Go ahead.
It's a DC-15 series. It's either
You're
DC-15C or yeah.
You didn't need multiple choice. Well, where Dylan's going, we don't need.
I read an article on them, I believe, on expandiverse.com.
Nice. You cheated.
You cheated by knowing the answer.
Hey, Matt, since you're here, I'll show you something cool that I got. Went to the bookstore and found...
the Highlander books?
No, I did not see any of those things. But I have a copy of it already. I have 2 copies of everything now. Lando Calrissian, The Flame Winds of Ocean.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's got like a
beauty,
solid spine where no one ever read it.
Nice.
Pages are nice and white.
I have the hardback. I don't have the paperback.
Lucky. Yeah, they had 2 sets of this trilogy. Yeah, catching up over there. They had 2 sets of that trilogy at the bookstore. So I'm like that guy that took the 1 book to complete my 2 sets.
To answer Jacob's question, what book did Akbar and Thrawn have a space battle? I don't think they did. Oh, I mean, it was maybe Timothy Zahn's books, right? That's the only time Thrawn is actually seen. So I don't. If you're asking me which one of those 3, I don't know. That's the only time they would have met.
Interesting. Whatever happened to... Well, never mind. I'll get there eventually.
All right. EU knowledge. What was Admiral Akbar before he joined the Rebel Alliance?
What, did he work for the Empire?
In a way.
Didn't everybody work for the Empire at one point?
Guess so, yeah.
Dylan, do you remember what Admiral Akbar was before joining the Rebel Alliance?
He was essentially Tarkin's personal slave.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez.
Never thought that. I thought he was like a janitor for the Empire. I don't know. Jacob knew that one. Any All-American Cornbread has a question for you, Matt.
I'm listening.
I'm not doing it.
What's your favorite Highlander character?
No.
Well, I hated Richie, and of course I got to go with Duncan MacLeod over Connor MacLeod even. over the original. And I've always been like that because even though I love Connor McLeod, I just think Duncan just did a better job because Connor McLeod, Christopher Lambert just basically talked like he always talks. There can be only one Highlander. That you're not doing a Scottish accent, Chris. I don't know what you got there. But I thought Duncan did a much better. So yes, if you want me to say guest star appearance, well, obviously it's Fitz, right? Because everyone loves him. But I do love Mythos. Ooh, I don't know. Mythos may be Mythos is a better one. I love Mythos. Wasn't a big Amanda fan. I mean, she was okay. I liked Amanda fine, but she got annoying after a while. Glad she wasn't on as. I know fans wanted to see her more in the series. I thought it was just enough, and sometimes she overstayed her welcome at times because she did get annoying at a while. I mean, she was like a Catwoman, the thief with a heart of gold, but too much of her would have been annoying. They did her just right, though.
I don't have a favorite character in Highlander because I don't know anything about it.
Best couple in the EU, Dylan?
Well, hey, Rob has a question up there. He says,
Oh, I'm sorry.
He said, what was Galen Merrick's Starkiller's first appearance?
The game.
That's what I would have thought, too.
Yeah.
Or was it? No, was it Soul Calibur, like in that video game?
Oh, you mean like he got a preview?
Yeah, like I know that Yoda was in it, and
Maybe.
But
No idea.
I was gonna mention, Matt. Me and my wife were browsing on Vudu, like looking for a movie to watch, and I don't know what happened, but at one point I actually typed in like Highlander, and I'm just like, wait, what?
What's happening?
Just ask me. Did you watch it? It's a great movie.
No, we didn't watch it. They're like $4 to rent each on it.
No.
That's crazy. But, well, I guess they could wrap it up for tonight, guys.
Okay.
So thanks for joining. It was fun.
Yeah, best couple was Mara Jade and Lando.
Oh,
You're welcome.
yes. Forgot about that. Let's answer that question. I don't know. Han and Leia.
Adam.
Oh, hey, I got it.
Oh.
Calibur.
Okay. Good.
Oh, geez. I'll just say Mara Jade and Luke. I haven't made it that far yet, but I'll just say that.
Yeah, I'll change mine to Waru and Luke.
I don't know.
You're making that up.
Just kidding.
Wicked and Kanisha. Aw. Heart together forever.
Jacob said Kyle and Jan. I don't know that.
Okay.
Anyway, well, guys, thanks for joining. Everybody, have a good night, and we'll see you later.
Don't forget to vote tomorrow.